Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Plan on letting one go early, and he didn't line. He did not. A lefty move and a good move from Blake Hartford, the sophomore. Other aspects of his game, and he was out here working on his three-point shot. Speaking of three-point shooters, that young man made 69 of them last year. Yeah, really big mistakes and misses against Oklahoma. He admitted that he was just kind of shaking his head when he went to the bench. But how about the shooting here by Creighton? Amazing on both sides. I'm going to call him for the rest of the year, by the way. The little Prince. Harper banked it in. Blake Harper, the Howard transfer.
Largest lead for the Huskers has been 10. Here's Sanford, shoots the three. Got it! Bang! Orang! There you go. Bryce Sanford with his second three of the night, 2 in the game, 8 on the year, and the Huskers open up a 12-point lead.
So UCLA, they have been up and down, but they have the players, that individuals that can start on a lot of teams. But they do play a lot of different players, and I think USC is rolling, and they're young but super talented, and they're playing great as well. I feel like this time of the year there's teams getting better and teams that are pretty stagnant, and I feel like both these teams are getting better and playing well right now.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, man. Definitely not trying to be stagnant.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
No.
Stagnation is no good.
I don't know if you heard. We got a big game on Friday.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
Nebraska had a bye week.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. Other big game?
Yeah, we got another big game.
People keep
very, very, very strange Costco experience yesterday.
Really?
First one I've had in a long time. 5 pictures. Took 5 pictures.
5 different people wanted pictures with you. Okay.
Took 5 pictures.
All right.
And one of the guys, he wasn't a picture guy. He's a big fan. Oh, I saw Johnny the Pig.
Oh, nice.
I mean, rocking the Detroit Lions jersey head to toe. He
felt pretty good after that Commanders win.
He ain't no faker. And one of the guys was Lance's buddy. He's like, yeah, I get a lot of my scoop from Lance. It's my buddy. And at the very end, he's like, go Patriots. And I was like, ooh, that hurt. I think we could still be cool. And then the last one, Super Bowl couple, their grandson played soccer at Westside. And she's like, go Warriors. It's going to be tough. I was like, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
You know what people have started doing for me?
What's that?
They're like, hey, how's DB feeling about Friday?
I know.
And I was like,
I'm good, man.
I was like, I don't know, man. He seems like he always seems.
So you know the deal, though. For us, shoot, man, it's all we wanted. Like, just a chance.
Yeah. Also, you seem mostly the same before almost every game.
Yeah.
Like, you're usually confident that you like your game plan.
I love our game plan.
And that if you execute your game plan, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment of almost every game?
That is fair.
Is that almost verbatim what you said to me earlier this week?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it is. I'm like, I don't know. He seems like DB.
I know people are bummed that it's a semifinal game, but I'm just telling you, if you're going to get them, I prefer to be at our place.
Oh, 100%.
So
100%. And also,
somebody's string is coming to an end.
I don't really.
Maybe it might be ours.
I also don't really.
Been in Lincoln a lot.
What's the difference? Like, you got. I mean, if you're a fan,
they're really. Oh, okay.
If you're just a fan,
yeah.
Like, you're gonna you get the matchup you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's in Lincoln. I don't care if it's at Westside. I don't care if it's at Buell. Like, you get the matchup. I'm sure you care it's at Westside instead of Buell, but you get the matchup you wanted, and you're gonna have it's gonna be like 60 degrees still at tip off, which is incredible.
Yeah. We went back and forth on how we felt about the weather, and then I think by yesterday we just figured out we don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
practice
just mean for me
for a lot of different scenarios
as a fan.
You want to be warm?
100%. Yeah,
I want to be warm.
You
don't matter to me.
You
don't
know
matter to me.
You know I'm soft about being outside.
What up, Shaddy? That's I forget.
I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah,
I've skipped stuff I wanted to be at because I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Everybody that's an adult other than me that can afford it has a coat. I don't have a coat, so I have an excuse. You can dress warm.
I can dress warm, but there's still a point where you still get cold.
You know who's a good cold weather dresser?
Who?
Sautter.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing this a long time.
He's a very efficient,
He layers.
good cold weather dresser.
Yeah, he does a good job.
I admire his.
Absolutely.
And he looks like a normal person, right? He doesn't come out looking like the Michelin man that's uncomfortable.
So that's,
I can't put my arms down.
That's part of my problem is I don't want to look like an idiot more so than normal.
You'd rather be warm than.
I'd rather be inside.
Oh.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You know the worst game that I endured, and it was for you guys, was 2 years ago, Millard Southwest side. The weather was terrible that day.
Oh, the super windy day.
Super windy. It got cold. It was rainy. Like I hung it in there for that one.
Atta boy.
But other than that, I'm good. I'm not trying to. I did it for some Millard North games, but I'm not doing that. I'm too old for this.
You're not old at all.
Yeah, well, you know, we're getting pretty close to 40.
Oh Lord, lordy, look who's almost 40. Shane, it's good to see your vehicle back too, buddy.
Yeah, it's nice to have it back.
I almost texted him and be like, "Hey, you good this morning?" But I was like, "Listen, if you need a ride, that's kind of on you to tell me."
Yeah. So there was zero phone action.
Yeah.
Zero.
I almost texted him separately, just be like, "Hey, you need a ride?" Anything like that. But again, did you get him?
I don't know. It smells like food. What was the soiree here that they had last night? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
I'm not just saying this because it's you, but it smells like old Indian.
Yeah, it is. It does.
Have you eaten it enough to know?
Oh yeah. Well, not just that, but like my dad cooked it enough while I was growing up to know.
Fair.
Like it's just. I mean, listen,
Mr. Anti, I don't even eat Indian.
I mean, I do some. It's just not a thing that I'm. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Sorry about that.
No, here's the thing though. I can tell, if we're like looking for houses or something, we were looking to buy a house. Mm-hmm. I can tell if an Indian family lives there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a lot of the spices kind of linger.
I didn't know they were always in the selling market.
They happen to sell some of the houses we are in the market for.
Oh yeah? Do you have an inside track?
Sometimes, put up a little for sale sign, for sale by owner at the temple, and Dad's like, "Hey, look what we got here."
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could.
Can I tell you?
And I love Indian too, man. But
can I tell you, like,
you could tell me whatever you like, buddy.
Indian people are not trying to use realtors unless they have to.
I feel you.
They're like, "Hey, no, that's my money. I can sell it myself."
No. So that's the American dream. Do you not see that little dude?
No, I do. I'm just trying.
How come you're not trying to get him?
Well, I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying to get past it.
That's an old hymnal. We shall overcome.
I know that one. Like little helium.
How does he not have enough breath for one call? For all the people that don't like us, you're gonna be like, "See, that's what happens."
No, that's as bad.
That's what he wants.
That's as bad as it's
What's
ever
for you
been.
to talk about him?
That's as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah, I guess that
was pretty rough out there.
Man, I was floored at all the stuff that he missed.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like that's not a catch. There's a flag. That play was blown dead. His knee was down.
Honestly, it feels. I know this is your guy. It feels like a lot of like late stage Keith Jackson.
It is my guy.
Oh,
Nelly.
Like I love Keith, but like
we were in the Keith Jackson broadcast booth.
Like
I don't know. I'm sure ours wasn't. That thing was the size of Shane's shoe closet. But
no, but the general like media booth, right?
Like
it was
the
Royal broadcast booth.
That was a nice picture of old Keith.
No, it was like there was.
I did not miss that place. The Rose Bowl was a weird place. Like I could see where if you wanted concessions,
yeah,
and a tailgate spot and variety, it's your spot, right?
Yeah.
You could get boba, you could get Dos Equis, you could get a latte, you could get birria tacos, you could get.
What's the structure of the concessions like? Because a lot of times in those older buildings, it's tough.
So they have a lot of new freestanding.
Okay. So kind of like Nebraska
entities.
will do, where they like have to pop,
which
up.
is kind of cool,
little pop-ups.
Right? So when we came, when we came out to try to sneak some protein, when Ben was officially my bodyguard. Did you ever see that as a kid, Shane? Not Kevin Costner and
Whitney Houston. I have not seen that.
No, this is the one with Ricky Linderman, who looked like a psychopath.
Oh no!
And he had the bicycle, and Matt Dillon had the bodyguard. And he's like, Mikey, hey Mike,
I think he likes it.
That's my bike now.
Do I need to see if it's on Tubi?
It's a great movie. A little triumph.
Yeah.
Yeah. People thought Ricky Linderman, was a killer. There's all these rumors. And you know the same booger eating like redhead dude with the freckles that he kind of talked through his nose?
I do not.
Oh, man, you got to Google. My bodyguard.
My bodyguard.
Yeah, old. Maybe 82, 83-ish. Fantastic show.
I had.
It seems very Tubi-esque, Shane.
It does seem Tubi-esque.
Without the bad CGI.
Well, yeah, it's 1980. Probably no bad CGI.
Is it 80?
Yeah, 1980.
That is a fantastic show.
Is it Paul Quant?
Yeah, Paul Quant.
He looks
Paul Quant, I think, was Ricky Linderman.
He was Carson.
Carson. Oh, the redhead guy?
Yeah.
The little redhead kid? Yeah. How'd he age? Let me see a picture. Doesn't he look like a guy that would pick his nose?
I don't even know which one he is.
No, the little dude.
I know the little dude looks like he would pick his nose. I can't figure out who he is now.
Because I don't think this is going to go so well.
Adam Baldwin was Linderman.
Ricky Linderman?
Yeah, this guy. He's been in some stuff. I recognize him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really good in that role.
He's in The Patriot. He's one of the soldiers.
I have not seen The Patriot.
Really? That kind of surprises me.
Did I tell you I didn't really start watching war movies until my 40s?
That feels like it'd been up your alley, though, to go back and get.
It's not my thing.
Oh, all right.
It's very, there's several popular.
Not a big Mel Gibson guy?
Well, what'd he do?
Mel Gibson?
Oh, like the old school. Oh, so the Patriot, like Civil War.
No, Revolutionary.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Is that where he fought with his sons were in the war?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my jam either.
All right.
I don't know if you know this. That was not a good time period.
I mean, it came out in like 99 or something.
Yeah, I still hadn't received my separations. my preparations.
No, your repercussions.
No, they got theirs.
2000. Came out in 2000.
I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I probably would have. No. I did see Glory. Does that count?
Yeah, you hate that movie, don't you?
It's fine. Didn't age as well as I wanted it to. I just wish they'd have given him some new shoes and some socks.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But I had to get that as part of the Denzel collection.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I stopped doing that. I found all my.
You're not collecting the Denzel movies anymore?
Mm-mm. I probably stopped
out
after 06, maybe.
Out on Denzel?
But I have several.
You missed some good Denzel ones after 06.
I hope they didn't hit my mom's. She had the bin come by without me. The dumping bin came in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so who knows what didn't make it.
I was saying, who knows what's left?
Yeah.
You missed some good Denzel stuff if you stopped in 06.
I know, but I have Equalizer, all of them on loop. I've got I watch a lot of Denzel movies still.
To this day, you would say?
And as I'm shopping for my new streaming provider, a lot of them are showing me Denzel, so they have very good memories.
Yeah, I got to say, I made a switch on like a free trial. Not in love with what's happening right now.
Is it the so what do you call the
like the interface? Yeah.
Is that the problem?
Don't love the interface, and one of the services that does have ESPN is missing all the TNT stuff. So no TNT, TBS.
So I thought for sure you'd figure that part out. You need all the sports packages.
Yeah, and
does anybody have all this?
Maybe I have to check Hulu. I missed it. I just missed it because I was looking for very specific things because I assumed TNT, TBS were givens because they're very like basic cable channels.
And we've settled. Peacock has made all their They've settled with all their streaming.
I think
people.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just didn't even think to look for it. And then I was looking for
where does BTN rank?
Oh, BTN's super high up there. That was one of them I looked for. I looked for all the sports channels specifically.
Yeah.
I'm a dork, so I make sure they had tennis channel.
So if you're a Creighton guy, you need FS1, you need Peacock, and you need
TNT. Yeah, they've got Creighton broadcasts. So I'm hoping I have to check because I already have HBO Max. So I'm hoping. I know some of the TNT stuff streams on HBO Max already, so that might be my workaround. But if not, I'm gonna have to switch again,
That's funny.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
It was just an oversight. I just missed it.
Yeah.
That's totally on me.
You got to ask a lot of people and see what they've come up with.
I know.
Take the consensus.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even I don't know.
I
do know I only have 3 streaming subscriptions, 3 streaming reparations. So I know what to cancel. And I told you, I set Alexa to give me a reminder to cancel.
Yeah.
On November 15th.
See, I think Hulu has it all, but I hate their interface.
So
Hulu.
So I have it. So okay, I'm back to Benny Mac fixed my Hulu. By the way, who's on the round? How did you do the round robin? Is Casey up first?
Yeah, I got Casey today, right?
Yeah.
Oh, today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk to Kyle.
Yeah, we got Casey today.
Yeah, Kyle's funny. Kyle will tell you all about the Rose Bowl and getting dropped off 3 miles from the booth.
I'm definitely gonna ask him first about the USC game.
Why?
Everybody up here and everybody down there.
Oh, Daddy Kyle
needs to. Dad Kyle.
So he got referenced that in the elevator.
Needs to settle in.
Like, where were we coming from? I don't know. We were probably getting ready to fight again. And Kyle's like, settle down.
Gotta settle in.
Yeah. That was Cassidy's fault, I think. She was acting up.
Are you an American Gangster guy?
Love American Gangster.
Book of Eli?
Love Book of Eli.
Equalizer, first one?
Come on, man.
I'm saying these are all post-2006 Denzel.
I understand. But they have this thing now where you can just watch it in your library.
But you don't like
I don't have anything to play DVDs on.
You got to buy something.
Yeah. I need a copy of the state champion. I ordered 2 games of the state championship, and I gave one to Coach Sikora and one to Coach Samanji.
Yeah.
And I didn't leave myself one.
For which one?
The second time we played Gretna.
Okay. I was going to say, you guys have been pretty successful. You're going to have to narrow down which state championship you're talking about.
Stay in a moment. Got to get past the semis here before we can talk Lincoln.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about this year. I'm saying previously.
I have another.
You've had several trips to Lincoln.
I was requested to do a radio show on Thursday, and I know they're going to ask me about state playoffs.
Is it a show we like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 308.
I'm not going to gatekeep who you can talk to, but
I know
I'll make fun of you.
I do like to. Your blessing is a little strong, but I'm not trying to rock the boat.
Yeah. Did you get him?
I don't know.
I saw him fly by again.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he came back this way.
So too much. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be like.
It's got to be quicker.
Mr. Miyagi, just.
Yep.
You know, maybe you need chopsticks like Have you seen the Bruce Lee with the fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you
need. I'm a big chopstick guy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a big Bruce Lee guy.
He's fine. He's not my. Can
I have a hot take here?
Yeah.
I think he's a little overrated. It's probably that era of movies. That's fine. I don't care.
That's just dude.
That's fine.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Anything you need to know about Bruce Lee, that little dude knows.
It's entirely possible like that style and era of movies just isn't for me. It's like people who are like, oh, I think the Beatles are overrated. It's like, that might just not be for you. That's fine. Even though
shots fired, like
you did have a Beatles reference on air.
Well, he did need to get by
with a little help from your friends.
Yes, and he got the convoy.
That was a good reference. I like that.
Yeah. And I did.
Well,
so most of my music references fall on deaf ears without Courtney.
You know what I like? I was watching that because I think it was in the Black Shirts Media put together a great compilation of all the highlights from the game, and he put over your and Kyle's calls on top of the whole thing. I think you retweeted. That's how I found it. And so I was listening to that, and I said,
"Well, they put the little box. Is he who put the little box during his 45-40, 35-30?
I think so,
dude. I'm telling you, that thing was sweet.
No, it was great.
You caught me real time just listening to his broadcast. I didn't say one word. I just was like, I wasn't paying attention to the play. I was paying attention to the play.
You were. I could see your eyes.
Yeah, I was watching, but I was listening to KC.
Yeah,
it was. That's in my wheelhouse.
It was a great call. You did a great job.
Yeah,
I but I was watching that.
The older guy at Costco, he said, I was a little worried at first, but man, you can tell he's starting to have some fun. And I was like, yeah, I was a little nervous because I'm kind of silly, and B-Mac's the professional, and I don't know. We just have to figure out the style. But yeah, he's definitely settled in. Like, we high five, we dab, we have our thing we do before the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually do think it's really challenging to come in from a different place.
It's very hard.
And especially, I have to imagine, because he's from the Northeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was at Florida. Those aren't places where he's going to have a ton of interactions with Nebraska.
Yeah.
So at least like Greg coming from K-State.
He's a pro's pro, so the mechanics really matter.
Sure. Yeah.
Really matter.
Like with Greg, he was coming from K-State while Nebraska was in the Big 12. So like he had a very good familiarity with Nebraska. So I think, I don't know, we'll end up seeing like it may have been a little quicker.
And I bet Sharpie was like that early, because I know he got so much pushback those first handful of years.
Yeah. And
I think it's as he was transitioning from kind of the K-State fandom, and I mean, he's an alum, right?
Yeah.
So that's a difficult.
It was also
transition,
very
and it was
tumultuous
a tough
time
for Nebraska football,
just in general, right?
Yeah,
so
he came in mid-season.
Yeah, it's kind of a rough year.
Wasn't a lot of positives.
So I do respect how challenging that has to be. I think about it, like everyone.
And remember, he's the youngest
for sure, because he's early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
but he very much has an old soul. Like, he even controlled dinner.
Yeah,
and he cares the least about food. Like, once we got there, his tenor set the. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I
think that
we got to figure out this whole TV package, though, because I need to settle in.
I do.
Because if I'm getting rid of not the subject hop again, but
no, it's fine.
If I'm getting rid of YouTube, I'm getting rid of YouTube.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they figure it out.
I don't think they are.
I don't either.
Although, you know what's happening on my ESPN app on my on the phone?
What's that?
It's giving me, hey, talk to your subscriber, and they give me like 5 options to reach out to YouTube.
So here's the
stop doing that.
That's fun. The weird part, because if it seems like they weren't going to try and figure it out, I would just say like, hey, we're not on YouTube anymore.
Well, I think they have
Sign
a lot.
up.
I think they have a lot of. Thanks for. See, I needed to know that, Kobe.
That's what I was saying. They don't have TBS.
Well, you didn't say who it was.
Oh, yeah.
You were all in too. You read through the thing, and you're like,
I know it was a total blind spot. Like, I just didn't even think about it.
Oh, that's good, because I might have given them a. Where's Josh? He knows everything.
I assumed because TBS TNT is such basic cable that everybody had them.
Yeah,
which was a bad assumption on my part.
Wow, good call, because I was gonna take a look at them.
Yeah, the sports packages are great, and the price isn't bad, and they got the unlimited DVR.
So it looks like the H1 unlimited bundle people, right?
I think so, but I have to check them because they didn't used to have unlimited DVR, which is a big deal for me.
Man, they have to be with the times.
I would hope so, but they weren't. I mean, as recently as a couple years ago, because that was the reason I went with YouTube TV in the first place, is the unlimited DVR. Because
Headley, that's what he says.
Headley, do you know if they have unlimited DVR? Because I record everything. Like, I record all college basketball, all college football, all NFL.
You know what's funny is JG Doc.
Mm-hmm.
He might have rolled this thing out, because they're the only people that aren't complaining.
The YouTube people,
the direct dish people.
Oh yeah,
they're the only people. And remember, they're the reason everybody started streaming, because they had monopolized the market.
Kobe, I get that that's what their goal is. What am I supposed to do to watch sports? That's what I do for a living. Like, I can't be like an advocate.
Wait, what did he say?
He says don't switch to one of the Disney streaming platforms. That's what their goal is. I can't be an advocate. I have to watch the stuff.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have watched.
I wouldn't be able to watch the Creighton game last night, which would not have been missing much. But
I don't know how to manipulate their quad box, but at least they have it.
Yeah, it's just I don't
know how to change it. It was the quad boxes were set.
Like, I don't have the luxury of being like, oh, I'm not giving Disney my money directly, because, like, what else am I going to do? Just not watch the things? Like, yeah. I don't have that option, really.
So, yes, Lance, but you do. But finding the channels expeditiously is you don't have to repeat it. Finding the channels expeditiously on those is the trick. Because I have it, and it's delayed, too.
On Hulu?
Look at LB's.
LB, I missed LB.
Up here.
Okay, I'll find it.
So, yeah, but Kobe said ABC is free.
So here's the other thing: is I'm not trying to like switch between stuff very often. Like I don't like switching platforms. Like I want everything
You
to be.
mean within the day, or
Well, I mean,
when
like,
you get your service?
Like if I've got my service, I don't.
No,
want
I know. I'm with you.
I don't want to have to go from YouTube TV to ESPN to. I got to go to this third. I got to be Big Ten. Like I already have to do that enough with like
that sounds miserable.
Peacock and ESPN, like Big Ten Plus, and I don't know. I don't want to. I can't do that.
Husker dominant. So he's not alone. I wonder if he's in a specific demographic, because there are a couple of people that are in my sphere that are the same as what he just said. I have NFL and MLB packages. I don't miss ESPN at all. I can miss out on the SEC.
That's fine.
There's a handful of.
This kind of goes back to my theory.
Husker D, are you between 42 and 60?
This kind of goes back to my theory, though.
I'm going to say 44 and 60.
Is that I think there's a lot of Nebraska fans that do not necessarily care to consume a ton of things outside of Nebraska.
So that surprised me. So the more that I think you guys are right, the more I hear what
stuff like that
Husker D just said.
Like if you're trying,
I would have not have thought that. Like we kind of argued about.
We did. I think it's true though.
You're like, oh, you'll be surprised, Nebraska fans. I'm like, yeah, they do.
And it's not an indictment. It's just I think it's just how people choose to spend their time, which is fine. But I genuinely like if you can miss.
Is that why you haven't invited me over yet, Scott? I won't dirty up your furniture.
Kobe, I'm not trying to switch platforms all the time.
Why do you keep yelling at Kobe?
I'm not yelling. He says you already pay for ESPN Plus, which I do.
Oh yeah, so Husker D is in that.
He said just upgrade to ESPN Unlimited. I'm not like if once I'm on, because then I can't quad box things or anything.
Hey,
like I need to stay on the same.
Can I call him?
You can call him whatever you want.
He doesn't have a nickname yet, but I like the name Kobe.
Yeah,
because of
that's your guy.
Well, that and I remember we put that defense in.
Oh yeah.
We called it Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe, do you only watch the Plus on your mobile device?
Like either computer.
Yes.
Like
is that the right term?
Either computer or phone or
anything, not
tablet.
the TV.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Because, he said the wife even brought some ginger. That's what I'm talking about. She was the cool one to begin with. She's
a big ginger ale guy. You like ginger ale?
And she spoke first.
Really?
Yeah. She did. She said, "Oh,
like I just don't. I'm not trying to switch platforms all the time."
Yeah, but you might have to. So he said no. Okay, so no.
So he'll watch it on TV, which is fine. I mean, I suppose one of my alternatives is I could just leave one of the TVs on the ESPN platform all the time. That seems annoying, though. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
So the only reason I'm worried about this now is because I'm getting in a month. I'm probably more now, depending on where the bowl game is. Pretty soon I'll be at home.
Yeah, you'll have a little bit more.
So I care about the mobile. I care about being mobile because I'm always gone.
Yeah. Always. Yeah. I just care about the convenience of my viewing experience.
I have to wait and see what Josh says. I'm telling you, he's the streaming guy.
I might have to. Who, D'Lo?
Yep.
Okay. I might have to.
I asked Meg at practice yesterday. I was like, man, I need to hit Josh up. What's his regular job?
I may have to try out the Hulu because I think that's the only other one left, really.
They have some great shows.
I'm not trying. Oh, I have Hulu, like the service, but I'm in a very different mode where I'm like, hey, I'm going to stream a show versus I'm watching live TV. If I'm watching live TV, I just want it all to be in the same place. It's probably because I'm old and used to cable, but like I just want it to all be in the same place.
Yeah, that's like my mom, and she's
older than me.
Older than me. Have to be careful. Take care of moms.
Gotta be careful here.
So did you watch? First of all, did you watch Maryland Eastern Shore?
Against Nebraska,
yeah, because they'll give you. They play Friday.
Yeah.
So they're just hanging around.
Yeah,
I wonder where they're staying.
That was weird.
That they're just hanging around.
Well, no, I mean that part I get. The game was weird.
It's very weird.
I'm sure either Nebraska or Creighton or both are like paying for their in the meantime accommodations.
Yeah, maybe they piecemealed it.
Yeah, like hey, give us the extra day for Wednesday.
And you could negotiate the buy portion,
the number,
of the portion, right?
Yeah, just be like, hey, we need
Instead
this.
of scratching us off a check for this, take care of this.
And then make this a little less or whatever. Or just scratch us off a bigger check. We'll use part of that to cover our accommodations. Because there's usually one or two teams like this every year.
Yeah,
that plays like a Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Friday, or Wednesday, Saturday.
It's a SWAC game. Was it a SWAC team?
There was a couple of them last year.
Yeah. That stuck around. I think did they even hit Omaha? I think they played.
They did.
Omaha too.
One of them hit Omaha too. Yeah, you're right. They're making the circuits.
Yeah.
They're on that business development tour.
So when you're watching Nebraska MDE or EMS because it's Eastern Shore, it's not Maryland.
It's
not
MDES.
It's just UMES.
Yeah.
Okay.
I call it UMS.
So are you already extrapolating, or are you like fudge? I think
not really.
No, see, I did. This is a style where you can kind of get right.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't know how long you're going to be able to get right.
You mean like with the schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Like, I didn't love where Gonzaga fell in the schedule last night.
I'm going to say this, and this is Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Gonzaga is really, really good.
Yeah.
This is as good a Gonzaga. I think this will be as good a Gonzaga team as Fuse had since, I don't know, probably Chet and Suggs. So the last 4 years.
Yeah, so 05? 05 was, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
2020 was Suggs. 2021 was Chet.
Because it's weird. When he starts talking about, did you watch any of the this is where, press conferences help.
Unnecessary.
I'm sorry, was that a little hard?
It was very slappy.
Sorry. So, okay. Do you know where I get that from?
Where?
So my coaches are very touchy-feely, whether it's rubs or whatever.
Yeah.
And so to not come across as heavy-handed, I loosen. Like I'm very.
I'll say it was a little whippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go. I don't have a lot of tension, so it comes across.
Yeah. There's a little whip there, a little snapback action.
But if I do it and I'm firm, then you're gonna be like, ugh.
Just try and aim for the sleeve next time, so don't.
You could just say, "Don't touch you." That's fine.
No, it's fine. When you like this, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. So we're good there?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So what I was gonna say is he's talking about this team defensively and how many guys he can play in his rotation.
Yeah.
That's a. So
defensively, they really
the minute you heard that, and you're a team whose offense is feeling its way along, you knew you could be in for a long day. Plus, the line was 11.5, 12.
Yeah.
At no point was that game supposed to be close.
No, I did look at. So I'd heard him. I didn't listen to any of you before this game, but I'd heard him.
So I like him because he's very. He's like homemade ice cream. Right. It's Gonzaga. You know they're gonna probably eventually be good, but we're kind of just going through the process. Is like, oh man,
I did
only to lose in the Elite Eight or whatever. Like he reminds me of homemade ice cream.
I did listen to him some in the off season, and I don't know if I got the sense that maybe he sort of enjoys the construction of this team a little bit more.
They can defend.
Yeah, they really can. Now this might be a Creighton problem. I didn't know, like EK's offensive game seems like it's come along.
I don't think he's gonna shoot like that.
I don't either, but if he shoots at all, then that's a problem.
Well, he's gonna score.
I know he's going to score, but I mean, if he shoots from 3 at any sort of proficient level, that really kind of changes the dynamic there because you can't cheat. And I think that's what
you guys. It's super early, but Creighton, they dribble too much.
Yeah, I don't think they have any offensive chemistry yet, and I don't think McDermott has any idea who he likes playing together yet.
So this is going to be fascinating, but he's earned the benefit of the doubt because I've seen them with slow starts.
McDermott?
Yeah, we've written them off early, and
I did it last year. I didn't like how they looked early last year at all. And they've got more options this year.
But he has so many new people. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're going to have to gel in a hurry because they've only got 2 games before they play Baylor.
Well, the good thing is the Big East doesn't look good early. So
here's what I'm trying to figure out, though, and I get it's an exhibition.
What?
How did they look cohesive against Iowa State?
But I don't think they did, though.
They look better than that.
So he couldn't get – I think that's a misnomer.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. Iowa State was playing without a couple good players, everybody knows. But they shot the ball so poorly. And I think Creighton wanted to get out and be active, and they couldn't. It's a tough team to run against.
For sure.
So I think that almost shouldn't count. That's how I look at it.
I mean, it doesn't. But like I just –
No. I'm talking about in the eval.
Okay.
That's how I look at it, because I don't know if you're going to kind of get that perfect storm again. It was super clunky for Iowa State offensively. They couldn't shoot.
Not at all.
So Creighton kind of got to they got to do some things defensively. I don't think they're going to be able to do.
That's fair. I may have to flush it.
So it wasn't I didn't leave that and think that's portable.
Yeah, defensively, I didn't necessarily think so. But I thought offensively, they looked like they could get themselves out of trouble better against Iowa State than they did against Gonzaga.
One thing they better figure out in a hurry,
is
how to guard without rim protection.
Yeah, he's gonna have to break out.
I mean, you got 6 years of a good habit, and clearly, Kalk is.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the NBA.
He's
like
a
he's
good player.
like that wasn't
some anomaly.
That wasn't like, oh, he's just tall. Yeah. Like, obviously, he knows he's a really good ball player.
Although L.A. worked out on him the other night. But I just wanted to see ball shoot weird shots, which is why I brought my friend LaFraud today. He's LaFringe.
LaFringe?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because he's on the fringe of being needed.
It's on the fringe of being traded if he'll accept it.
He won't. I told you I wished for that in the offseason. He thought I was being a hater.
I mean, you're always being a hater, but it's fine.
Maybe with LaFringe.
A little bit.
It's okay.
Just a little bit.
But I put him next to my other friend.
With LaFringe and with Luca and with Otani and with Freeman. And
I like Freeman.
Now.
I was in where's the place that took us to the breakfast place that was closed? On the road. Was it Maryland? No, Minnesota. How could I remember? How could I forget? We were connected to the goddamn mall.
Oh.
So there were Atlanta Braves fans getting to the hotel when we were going to breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy had a Braves hat on, and his son was super cute. So I was a sucker for talking to him, and I was like, "Braves guy?" He's like, "Yeah, man, die hard." I was like, "Well, shoot, clearly, like you're rocking the gear in Minnesota, going to Mall of America." But we got to talking about the whole Freddie Freeman departure, and he got a little misty-eyed, which further. I was like, yeah, I was slow to come around on Freeman. I'm not going to kid you. But I knew he didn't want to be in L.A. at first. But then his whole son, then that was another 12-minute conversation. But it was fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I made a stranger friend.
I'm stunned.
That's fine.
I'm much better. Kyle, you can ask him. Kyle goes, Kyle, you're a lot nicer out of town than you are in town. And I go, yeah, that's probably true.
Oh, I believe that 100%.
But the people
I know why.
The people that we need to like cooperate and get around as strangers, like you need to be kind to, because they can help you out.
Oh, that's not what I thought.
Why do you think?
Because nobody knows who you are out of town.
I'm kind of over that.
Are you?
I don't love it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know you never have.
I don't love it.
I think like you
Costco, my friend Lucy gave me a hug.
You can be incognito out of
She
town.
said, "You and Ravi are so funny." I said, "Thank you, Lucy."
Appreciate you, Lucy.
She scanned all my. Well, I only spent $71.
Oh, I think she comments in here sometimes. I think
Like
she listens
our
on
Lucy?
Facebook. I don't know. There's a Lucy that occasionally will chime in.
Oh yeah, So I had like little stuff.
Yeah.
Like packages of. Can I ask a question? I'm all over the place. Can I ask? I want to get back to Creighton in a second.
Uh-huh.
So, organic versus non-organic. I'm looking at like these chicken thighs, and I'm a big debone, pull my own skin off. So that's always an option for me.
Okay. So you're not buying like the boneless, skinless, or you don't have to buy.
I look at what it's costing.
Okay.
But so yesterday, just kind of on a humbug, because it was early before my mom. I'm thinking, I just want to look at the difference. Like even the trimming is different.
Really?
Of excess?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that intentional?
On the
or
organic
organic,
versus
or are they
non-organic?
not as fatty? You wouldn't know. You're probably, man, where's your wife?
She would know.
Where are my food guys, my guys that buy meat? Is that a thing?
I would imagine, because they
Wait, KCS, you know Lucy? She is cool, though.
You go to this one or the other one? This one, right?
Oh, this one.
That's what I figured. It's right next to your house. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was on limited time. Limited time.
A little bit of a crunch.
You know anybody that can only spend 21 minutes in Costco?
I do not. I mean, what'd you say? You spend $71?
Yeah.
That's. If I get out of there under $100,
sometimes, and
Wild.
I feel like, oh, you know who I saw?
Yeah.
I gave him a 2-hand hug. It was probably awkward.
Who?
Dirk Chatlin.
Really?
I said, Dirk, I miss you. I was like, ooh, I probably want that back. It sounded weird.
Why? Who cares?
It was just instinctive.
If that's how you feel, who cares?
Because we're like, I don't know. It's not like we parted ways.
No, but you haven't seen him for a while. He's not like on the beat anymore, so you don't see him regularly.
I was like, oh
that makes sense.
Man, I miss you. How you been? And then I was walking away, and I was like, that might be one of the guys that I like more than he likes me.
I'll make this argument, though. Even if that is true in this circumstance, I don't know. I really don't know Dirk at all.
He got the 2-hand hug.
He sort of started stepping back from media coverage as I started sort of having more of a place. And so I don't have really any interactions with Dirk at all. So I really don't know. I will say, though, even if that is true, that he likes you more than you, or you like him more than he likes you, I would guess almost everybody likes hearing like, oh man, I missed you. Like, that's a really nice thing to say to somebody.
Yeah. That's super instinctive.
Like,
caught me off guard.
Even if we were just like acquaintances, I was like, oh, I never would have occurred to me that you had said that to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a really nice thing to hear.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think that's a positive.
Chalk one up for me for once.
Good on you, DB.
So
Good morning again.
Do you know what got my attention? Because his back was to me. I don't know what this is, but I looked at it. He had these things that go in his ears to listen that go over both ears. So his back was to me, and I was like, oh, that's a weird contraption. It looks like a head brace.
Does it like go across the back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
I've never seen those.
I don't like them. Like, I don't like how they look. It's probably very vain of me, which, I am. But
they seemed very, like they're not going to fall. They seem very functional.
So they like go over the ears and then connect around the back, right? Yep. Yeah, I've seen those. They do seem I think a lot of like runners use them because I think they're very stable.
They look, and so I'm like, oh, who's that? And it was because the back was a sport coat. And he turned around and I was like, oh my God, it's you.
Yeah.
I went in.
Double hug?
Yeah. I may have even done the little
pat?
I think.
Are you a pat or a rub? Depends on who it is.
Yeah, almost neither ever.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I had a moment.
Yeah.
That's gone.
I'll squeeze sometimes.
Squeeze.
Like if I really miss somebody.
Back to Creighton.
I'll give him a squeeze.
At Costco, Lucy. Oh, there he is. Josh, I need the complete streaming service. So type that out. He says $71 at Costco.
That's unbelievable, honestly.
I bought 4.
Yeah.
And one of them was a 3-pack of cheese slices.
Landon's
Pepper Jack, super sharp cheddar, and white cheddar.
Landon said, yeah, those are running headphones. That makes sense.
Yeah, they look sweet. Josh, I don't need you to critique my shopping at Costco. I need you to find the best streaming package.
That would be super helpful.
Do that. Okay. No, we did a podcast called Planet Forward where I was just talking about things other than sports, and so I got a chance to like get inside Dirk's thought processes, and when he's talking about parenting and like all this other cool stuff, and I was like, "Yep, I think I like him." That's kind of where it landed. So anyway, I want to get back to this Creighton thing before I get to Eastern Shore. Before you play them on
Friday,
Creighton plays them on Friday. And by the way, Shane, get ready to cut up the crosstown rivalry between Coach Flan and Coach Williams as Nebraska and Creighton women's battle today. DeMarinis is functioning at a high level and relatively, or he's healthier.
He's out of hospital, which we love.
To get me into this angle because I'm going to need some eyes and ears on the ground today. But are you just fast forwarding past UMES because you don't think that you can do anything against them that'll get you better?
I don't,
because they were Nebraska was clunky.
super clunky. I don't think I can learn anything.
Okay.
Right? It's not about
I'm just curious.
It's not about like being able. I think they can get better, but I don't think I can learn anything until I see whether or not those improvements can translate against better competition. Right? So that's probably one of the few games I won't watch live this year because I'll be at your guys' joint.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll record it obviously, but yeah, like some of those I have a hard time. Like there's a way that it needs to look for me not to be concerned, but I don't know how much I can.
I just wonder because I look at how Nebraska played and I was like, I wonder what's portable going forward. It's not going to be Hoiberg offensively going like that, is it?
I wouldn't think. I mean, I wouldn't.
You know who seems to be much more like wrangled in?
For Nebraska?
Yeah.
Berke?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. I think he is I think with Rienk back.
True, he doesn't have. Yeah.
I don't think he has to do as much. I think he knows he doesn't have to do as much. And I think Hoiberg made sure.
Rienk is pretty good.
He's playing really, really well.
I'm not even going to kid you. I'm going to be 100% transparent. When he was doing his thing 2 years ago, I didn't think it seemed sustainable. I kind of thought it was a lightning in the bottle thing. Because I'm like, is that really how they want to play?
Sure. Yeah. I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
It's hard to tell sometimes.
He does a lot of things well that don't even show up on the stat sheet. He's their quarterback.
I would say he's basically, he's basically their point guard in the half court.
Although, I don't know how sustainable this is. The second time around with Jamarcus, he does a lot of little things you don't.
I think he's a lot better than he was.
Man, little tempo controller.
Yeah, I think he's a lot better than he was first time around here.
So you're not going to take much away.
Again, I'm not going to take much away from the Nebraska game, even though they look a little clunky. I'm probably not going to take anything away from the Creighton game, no matter how they look.
So when's your next test? Baylor?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, they got to figure some things out in the next two games. Otherwise, Baylor's going to be ugly.
Are you worried about offensive fluidity or the fact they might struggle to get stops?
So,
I mean, Mac he kind of joked.
So right now, I'm worried about offensive fluidity because I think
he might have not been joking when he said it's going to take 85 a night.
Oh, I didn't think he was joking.
That's a big number.
It is. And if they get their offensive fluidity, I think they're capable of 85 a night. But that's the part that I find concerning from yesterday. Wasn't that, I mean, listen, you never want to give up 90, but I knew that was on the table. I didn't know looking that bad for that long offensively was going to be on the table for this team.
At what point in the 21-0 run were you like, are you joking me?
Because
it seemed like it was kind of overtime.
Yeah, it was a slow bleed out,
yeah,
for sure. It was over the course of like 6 minutes, I think. 63-45. I think there was an and one going into commercial break, and that's where I was like, okay, guess that's how it's going to be.
How's it going to be?
Big Third Eye Blind guy?
No.
I actually do like them a lot. It's very like middle school, early high school for me.
They got a couple songs I know. Give me another one.
Semi-Charmed Life.
Yeah, I know that. That's the do.
Yep. It's about crystal meth use.
Pardon?
That entire song is about using crystal meth.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
It sounds really, it's like really upbeat song for being about hard drug use. It's strange.
Huh. The more you know.
There's literally a line that says, using crystal meth will lift you up until you break.
Kind of like Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge. It's a kind of a drug use song.
That makes sense from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, if I'm being honest. They kind of give me that vibe.
I mean, you wouldn't know it if
Didn't
you just listened to it.
Guys?
Yeah, you're right,
I
Shane.
don't think you can talk about that. Is everybody still alive?
I thought that was Blink-182.
Look, come on now.
I mean, it's rock bands. It's probably a lot of them, but
it's way past. Remember, I didn't even know much about Freddie Mercury, famously.
You don't seem like a big Freddie Mercury guy.
Shane, one of the funniest made fun of shtick segments ever. The whole Styx Freddie Mercury thing.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh man, I got chewed up and spat out every which way but loose. And I probably earned it.
Think they're all still alive?
Okay. So, all right, good. Doesn't mean they all didn't dabble.
Oh, I assume a lot of rock bands have dabbled, but no, yeah, you would know several. I think Third Eye Blind.
I'm going to take your word for it. You want to set the lineup?
Yeah, I suppose.
Or do you want me to?
Go ahead. Why don't you do it?
No.
You don't want to?
No.
All right, we got Brian Christopherson coming up at 8:00 from Husker 24/7. We got Kevin Suits at 8:30 from 1011 News in Lincoln. Did we win a game without you seeing him?
I have to ask him.
Okay.
I did see Bruns, but that media was far away from where we were.
Was it?
I saw that.
Yes.
And then we'll talk to our guy Kyle Crooks at 9:00. Husker play-by-play voice. I'm sure you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I asked KC because it was very cafeteria-esque, the media meal.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Caesar salad, mixed vegetables, and lasagna, and they had some snack mix, and it was in bulk, so it was cheaper. And I'm a huge snack mix guy. Like I make my own. I take peanuts from here and this from here and this from here. So I'm sitting there eating, and Casey goes, "Are you gonna eat?" And I go, "Man, I'm gonna need some protein. That breakfast I ordered was sketch." And I said, "Does the lasagna have meat in it?" I said, "I can pick out the meat." He goes, "What do you mean pick out the meat?" And I go, I don't really want the sauce. So Ben recused himself because he knew Casey was going to go in. So Ben pushes himself away from the table. And he goes, "What?" I'm like, I said, "It's a long story, but does the lasagna have meat?" Because I don't know. I think so. And I said, "Oh, it took you too long. Like, you'd know if it had meat." And he goes, "Look at me. We've eaten together. Do I strike you as the type of person that is evaluating whether something has meat or not? I just eat. I clean my plate." I'm like, that might be the most Kyle Crooks answer I have ever heard in my entire life.
It's also like low-key kind of serial killer stuff. Like, to be that obtuse about what, like,
ask him. The
how do
dude
you
is
not-
a plate cleaner.
How do you not know?
Ask him. He's fascinating.
That's wild.
Dude,
Even if you don't care, how do you not notice?
See, that's what I thought, but I don't know. Like, we're super cool. Like, we can joke.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next year, I'll go in on that. I want to get through this season of him just like being able to exhale. But I in my head, I'm like, how do you not know if it had meat?
Yeah, that's crazy person behavior.
But he cut me. He took control of the convo. He's like, "Do I strike?" You know what I mean? So once he said that, it took away the follow up.
No, you just backed out. You backed down.
Yeah, I did.
You let him off the hook.
I did.
Like, that didn't change.
In my head, though, I promise you. I'm like, how do you not know?
Like that. Like, I can understand not caring.
Dude, it's all business for him.
That's fine. I can understand not caring. I don't know how you don't notice. That's wild.
Ask him. I'm fascinated to get his answer.
Like, just texture.
And it's you that's next on the chopping block, not mine.
That's
First
fine.
down, Huskers.
I don't work with him, so he can hate me. It doesn't matter.
No, I don't know if he's capable of hate.
Well, whether he is or not,
I'm sure he is. He's got some of these tendencies. Ask him about ask him about getting dropped off a mile from the site.
Oh, we'll get into it. We'll talk to Kyle
and how we rock paper scissors who sits in the front seat based on what we think of the driver.
You guys are adults, right? What are you doing? Who cares?
It's gonna be Jess 90% of the time.
You let Jess win that?
I don't know if it's so much winning.
Oh, you don't want to sit in the front seat with the Uber driver. I misunderstood. Okay.
No.
Okay. I get it now.
No. Kind of depends on the vehicle that's ordered. Who's driving?
Got to get those Uber Blacks, man.
What?
That's a conversation for Jess.
Jess, quit going economy on these things.
So sometimes you have to ask.
If somebody's not picking you up in a black Navigator, she cheaped out on the ride.
He's like, "Oh my gosh, just wait."
It's not what I said.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not a guy that looks like me plus 20 years driving a Lincoln Navigator, she cheaped out on the ride.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every Uber Black I've ever been in my life is a middle-aged Middle Eastern, most likely Indian man, driving a black Lincoln Navigator. Every single one.
How about them apples?
And I can tell you which ones learned how to drive in India and which ones learned how to drive in America because it is different.
I want to do the voice, but for right now, I enjoy my job.
Don't do the voice.
But when the guy pulled up, it was a Lexus sedan.
Okay.
And he said, car for Jessica.
Is that what it sounded like?
Yep. So I was like, oh, Jess, you get the front seat.
Is it?
He was on a PA system? That's what it sounds like.
That was funny, Shane.
That was funny. It took everything I had in me.
Car for Jessica? Car for
to
Jessica.
not do the thing.
Which voice?
No.
Give me like a part of the world. Okay, hold on. I'll make it easy for you.
Okay.
I'll make it easy for you. I'm going to give you 4 options. Okay. You, me, Shane, or Wyatt?
Wyatt.
Okay. We'll be right back with Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Car for Jessica.
How many national championships did John Cook coach the Nebraska volleyball Huskers to?
3?
Was that a question mark or a period?
I don't know. It's either 3 or 5.
I think it's 3.
It's at least 3.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3. Stick with 3.
I'll go 3. Gentlemen, it's 4. 2000, 05, 15, and 17. Throw that in your memory bank. That's all right. How many national championships did John Cook coach the Huskers to? 4. Good job.
They're both really good. So UCLA, they have been up and down, but they have the players, that individuals that could start on a lot of teams. But they do play a lot of different players. And I think USC is rolling, and they're young, but super talented, and they're playing great as well. I feel like, this time of the year, there's teams getting better and teams that are pretty stagnant, and I feel like both these teams are getting better and playing well right now. I think I've never played at either of these places indoor, just done beach at USC, and seeing it's this time of year, well, it's supposed to be great weather here this weekend, of course, but you're expecting colder weather in California to be nice, and so I think getting out of town to a nice climate is always good in the middle of the season too, and we'll get to do some extra things. We're leaving a day early, and that ended up being a great call because of flights and the government shutdown, so we shouldn't have any issues. But, we'll get to do some stuff on Thursday, and then the day off in between. Won't just be sitting in our hotels.
Hopefully he will now, though, right? I mean, the flaw in college football today is so much of it is preseason this, preseason that. Like, look at the rankings of the teams that were the top teams, and really the CFP has figured it out, right? Like, they do it now. They wait and see your body of work, and they do it now. And so, this team's going to be really good, but hey, wait, they're 3-6, and this team, like, what's Minnesota's record right now? I don't know, 6-3. I mean, how could you ever lose? Well, they're a pretty good team. And so I just think, people kind of bias things. Like, this team has 2 losses and this team has 2 losses. This team's still in the top 15. This team's out of the top 25 because a lot of it's just pre. So, Emmett's having a breakout season. Emmett will have a lot of decisions to make. Does he want to go play in the NFL? You know what I mean? If Emmett decided to come back, he obviously would be a preseason All-American, Heisman Trophy. He'd be on all the watch lists, So, But, I'm not so sure he shouldn't go play in the NFL, right? I think he's going to be a great pro player. So.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Straight eye, deep back Johnson, Lateef under center, snap spin, handoff, Johnson patiently probes up the middle, he's in, standing up, touchdown Emmett Johnson, touchdown Huskers. 20-7, Big Red, minute 47 before half.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian CHRISTOPHERSON from Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
BC, I cannot remember, so forgive me. Did I see you pregame?
No. You saw me at halftime.
Yep, halftime.
Yep.
At halftime, I walked up the stairs before I parted ways, and I said something, and
did you guys break the curse then?
I think we're fine. So the one thing that is consistent, BC, is Brunts. Maybe he's the key.
What? No, I was the
It's like, what? No.
What is this? All year this has been like I had some special link to Nebraska football. If they won or lost, it was all in BC's hands. And
all right, Brunts is out. It's BC.
It's not Brunts. Geez.
So maybe it's just that we communicate now at any point during a game. I don't know how we're going to work out Happy Valley, but I mean, we'll figure it out.
We can get together if they still have their little church potluck type deal up in the press box. That's usually what they have for food. It's like everybody brings a dish in. That's how it's been.
Okay, so listen. Will that be better than the cafeteria style deal that they had at Pasadena?
I got to it late, and all there was left was a little bit of salad, and there was no dressing. So I was just eating leaves dry. So I would say it's probably going to be better than that. But
good Lord,
I think it was sketch enough that at one point I was looking for some protein. So I asked KC. I said, "Hey, Kyle, does the lasagna have meat in it?" And he said, "I don't know." Then he thought about it and he said, "I think so. Yeah, it probably has meat in it." And in my head, I was like, how do you not know?
Maybe it's because it's California, and like in Nebraska, if you put meat in something, you put meat in it. And in California, it's like, oh, we're just going to sprinkle a little dab in here. So I don't know. I didn't try that though, so I couldn't say.
He's so businessy. I couldn't ask a follow-up question because he's like, do I look like a guy that I'm worried about cleaning my plate? Do you think I'm worried about protein consumption? And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep it.
I don't listen. There's no way
you'll get to ask him at 9:30.
I'm just saying, there's no way any sane human being couldn't tell if there was meat in lasagna. Whether you care or not, it's a different question.
But it's hilarious. You just have to be around him. He's hilarious without even really trying.
Listen, that's fine, but that's crazy behavior.
BC,
whatever you got going though, I'll say this before you get rolling.
Okay.
I listen to you guys. You know that. I put the buds in and listen to your broadcast.
Yeah.
It's very good it's very good just period, but it's very good, especially for like a first year together. Like you guys have really meshed well.
I appreciate that. I enjoy him immensely because we're polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's things that he likes that I admire because it will never be me, and I think it's vice versa. And he has enough little idiosyncrasies. I'm fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
So he's super, really cool team player, kind of goes with the flow. I told Ravi, nobody really cares how the sausage is made, but that clip came out of the Emmett Johnson screen.
Yeah.
And everybody was surprised at my lack of reaction. Because it's real time, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stage how to act. And I said to Ravi Monday, I go, do you know why I act? He goes, you were unusually calm or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go, do you know what I was doing? I said, at that particular moment, I was listening to KC's call real time because it fit my ear. It was a perfect call for what was going on. And I found myself real time just being enamored. He was like, it leaks out and to the 45, to the 40, it was exactly what I would want to hear. And so in the moment, you may catch me. I'm just like, this is real. I just was in the moment listening to the call. Not that I forgot about the play, but I wasn't moved emotionally by the play. I was cued into the call.
Yeah. It was a great call. And it's one thing, some announcers are very good at the big calls, but if you listen closely, they're not dialed in they're not accurate, or they won't give you the score enough. If you just popped in to listen to the game, or you're down in distance or yard line are confusing sometimes. And he's got a good combination of all of it that works together. I'm not buttering it up because he's on the show today. I just, I listen to every broadcast, and it's really good for a first year. You guys are ahead of the curve. You're sort of like the Nebraska D-line starting to turn the corner already. Like when you thought maybe they were a 26 D-line, they're showing some stuff here in 25 now.
Let's talk about my guy Keona Davis.
He enjoys the fact he thinks I'm a savant, but I'm really not. It's just the formations and stuff, and you can just kind of tell what teams. At least I can kind of tell what I think teams want to do. So sometimes I'll whisper sweet nothings in his ear before it happens.
Hey, be careful with that, Damon. Tony Romo got some love for that 1 year, and then everybody couldn't stand him the next year. So just watch out.
You want to know even further how the sausage is made? There's times I shouldn't even say this. There's times, BC, I want to text the staff next to me, but I assume that they already know. I'm dead serious. Like, I was watching their tight end and when he was offset or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, and even in MRI, we're talking about it real time through direct messages. Like, you can tell when the tight end's going to return because he's going to be a little deeper set. It was a tell between run pass, how he was going to use the motion. And you could see the right or left guard too. When he was deep set, I could tell if it was going to be counter or pull because it's the only time he did it. And I'm like, well, they have to be able to see that too, don't they? Or are they too worried about some other things? And I typed it out. It was, hey, I would never do this, but I'm almost 100% certain that. And then I was like, don't send. And then I type it out again, and I was like, don't send. I'm like, but I go through that quite a bit, seeing what I can see up there.
Did you gain any added respect for Nico in that game?
Yeah, he's sensational.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't realize he was that good of an athlete.
They
I really didn't.
They don't do him any favors sometimes with not letting him participate in actual designed runs. Like, I think they can be more creative with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times where he definitely looks like the best athlete on the field.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of tools in the tool bag.
I thought they got a little big for their britches. This isn't hindsight. On the 4th and 1 stop Nebraska had that was key in the second quarter. On that 3rd and 1, I understand football opportunity. You take your shot sometimes on that 3rd and 1 because you think you're going so good with the run. But after they had that like 9-minute, almost 10-minute drive, and they were working on another one, I thought that was just a huge mistake to like just cram it at Nebraska 2 times there, move the sticks, keep that clock moving another 1 or 2 minutes at least. And I mean, they were on the march toward another like 7-minute type of drive. And I thought they did Nebraska a big favor with that play call.
Yeah. So every I got that a lot on the, not a lot. There were a couple of social media deals. Well, hey, thank goodness they threw it on 3rd and 1. I'm like, you guys are like masochists. Do you know how many times over like the last 20 years, like if you could take a play, what it's like, why when it happens to Nebraska, you point it out, and when Nebraska does it, you point it out. Like, at some point just understand that everybody has those kind of what the heck's.
It's football. It happens.
Oh yeah, that's a definite natural call in that situation. Don't get me wrong. I just thought in the particular game, the way it was going, the flow of it, and that drive that had preceded it, I thought that was an assist to Nebraska, but Nebraska had to take advantage of it. You have that jolt. It's like, all right, it's 4th and 1, get off the field here, and Andrew Marshall comes in, makes a nice play to kind of set it on fire. And then
super unselfish job by Marshall. That was
So give the Husker defense credit there. I mean, they rose up, and that ended up. It felt like a big sequence to get that separation early, and obviously it ended up being so.
That's the one where he boxed him in, Singleton, and then Shavers come in.
Yeah,
that was a really good play.
Like he gave himself up. I mean, that's a 190-pound guy taking on a kick-out block.
BC, I do think there's is there any part of you that wonders if part of the reason they took that shot is I think offensive coordinators know how hard it is to score on a 17-play drive, and they go, hey, are the chances of us doing that consistently enough to win a ball game that way are probably not great. This is an ideal time to take a shot because we do think we can pick up the 4th and 1 based on how things have been going.
Oh yeah, I mean that was definitely part of the thinking, and also Nebraska's been a tough team to throw it on, so you're looking for situations where it's your advantage, and that would be one. And so I get all the reasons why you would do it. I don't want to just beat the drum on it, but when it happened, I was like, okay, that's nice for Nebraska. Now get off the field here, and you have a chance to really not blow it open, but you did get that distance that you needed. And so Nico was kind of all over the place in the first half throwing it too. He got maybe a little bit more dialed in, but it felt like his throws could go anywhere in the first half of that game, as good as he was running it.
When you're looking at, I want to stay before we get to the whole Lateef thing. When you're watching how UCLA wants to play, how they ended up playing, did you at all go back to they had a week to prepare, or they were kind of coming in as a trendy team, or they were actually favored, or any of that? Because I think at the end of the game when we watched it, it was just UCLA. But going into the game, we certainly weren't saying, oh, this is just UCLA. I hate the double standard after we saw how it played out. We were wetting our pants going into this game.
Yeah, it's a good win. That's the bottom line. That's how I feel about it.
Right. Am I misreading that?
No. There's some who are like that, some who aren't. I mean, it depends what street corner you're on. But yeah, I mean, what was it? A 1.5 point UCLA favorite by kickoff? Was that what it was?
Yeah, 22nd and Sprague. That's the street corner I'm on, BC. Go ahead.
No, I mean, they had the bye week. They were fresh. You knew that with that, Nico's legs were going to be even more emphasized. Obviously, they had the film on Nebraska that said, hey, test him on this, but he'd also been rested up. They were going to do run-oriented stuff with him. So there's that part. Even though they had lost the week before to Indiana, I think there was a thought, and probably in their camp, hey, Indiana's crushing everybody. Look at what was done before that. We've got some momentum. Let's come out of this bye and we can finish strong. So you're facing a team that I think was motivated in all aspects to kind of flip the end of their season with their interim coach and their OC and sort of the juice they had. And so by no means was that an easy game psychologically. The other side is up for it. But Nebraska, just to go down on that, to get the 3-and-out first off was huge. And then that opening drive for TJ, I thought when he tucked it and ran, we'll get to him, I'm sure. But, on the first play for 14 yards, UCLA knows that's going to be on the table probably, but it's here it is right in front of your face. First play, beware, he can do that. I thought that was a big deal. And then the crowd was a big deal too. This is 2 games Nebraska's gone on the road where Nebraska fans have neutered the home field advantage of the other side. And you knew that after Nebraska got that lead early, if they could push it to 14 points up like they did, some of those students were going to leave and it could just be kind of a Husker home crowd all the way. And so I thought all that kind of worked together, but by no means am I discounting the win. When I saw that McCullough was out, heard that he was out, I was like, okay, you're out your QB1 and you're out one of your most versatile guys on defense. This is not going to be easy, but I do think this team bought into.
You're on your third tackle. There was a lot.
Yeah, Nebraska was beat up, and so credit to their messaging, and not just the messaging, but how they really bought into it and held hands on that idea of like elevate yourself a little bit because this guy next to you sort of thing. And I think they really did, like Sunday or Monday, right after that UCSC loss that was so tough, get off the mat quicker than a team normally might in that circumstance. And maybe it, in a weird way, there was a help that you like had this new quarterback that you had to you had that easy, like, let's go, let's build him up sort of thing. But they definitely showed it on the field that wasn't just talk during the week.
BC, you mentioned the defensive line earlier. What have you seen from them in terms of progression over the course of the year? Because I thought you could make the argument this was their best game defensively on the front over the course of the season.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ravi, because I think there were times where Keona especially, but even RVP had some plays where even if he didn't make it, it felt just like more disruptive off the jump. Like guys were getting off blocks quicker and it's setting up other dudes to make plays. And so that was what was encouraging to me, was sort of the pushback. And if you listen to UCLA's post-game comments or read them, even though that ended up a 7-point game, Tim Skipper didn't actually talk that much like it was a 7-point game because he knew down on the field that in the trenches on both sides, they were losing. And so that's the biggest takeaway. Nebraska won the game, obviously good, but it wasn't just like both sides of the ball on the lines, Nebraska was winning. And that's something that you can really feel good about, I guess, going to this bye week. But I thought Keona played his best game by far. It was great to see him get the sack. His family was on the plane when I was traveling home wearing their 97s. And, that just had to feel like $1 million to them after a game like that.
So when you're kind of watching the performance, and I thought like the narrative that surrounded the final score wasn't indicative of how the game was played, right? Because if Nebraska wanted to score again on another drive, they could have. They chose not to. So in my head, I was thinking, well, if they stay on the gas as opposed to just milking the clock while still moving the ball, and it was 14 points, would we have felt better about what we actually saw?
Yeah, there would have been a little better initial reaction to it, probably by
Nebraska did that by choice too, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to nitpick, there's that part, and I'm sure they're looking at it too, like where you're always like, what can you get better at? And those moments when you can step on a team's throat. And both the offense and defense will have series in this game that they can look at and say, you know what, if this play here, if something's a little different, we take care of this game just a little bit easier. I thought there was like 2 drives where the offense didn't score, right? Like a late third, early fourth quarter before the finishing drive. And if I remember right, on one of them, they didn't score for the first time. UCLA got like a TFL for like one of the first times I remember. It felt like it was like a 2nd and 13 or something. And then that was the one where actually I think Dane Key had one go off his hands that should have been complete. That probably would have been close to the sticks if he caught it and ran. So what Nebraska did well is they stayed in favorable down and distances, obviously all throughout the first half. And I thought a big deal to that was, Lateef's feet. It is an advantage to have that, where like there was that 7-yard little flip pass he had to Emmett where Lateef could have run for it too, but he just like kind of spins out, and that was a decent pass rush by UCLA, but Lateef made it a nothing burger just by like how easy it was for him to get out of it. And then there was another like 2nd and 8 where he ran a zone read and he outran the guy to the edge and got 7 yards. And those are the plays everyone forgets about kind of, but you have 3rd and 1, Harburg sneaks it. Like there were some plays they had for him and used his skill set so well to just keep Nebraska on schedule for most of that game. And maybe there was like one series where they got a little off schedule, and that's when it didn't work out. But otherwise, it felt like they were kind of playing to their rhythm most of the night.
Were you surprised at all that Lateef didn't run more? I think that was kind of one of the narratives coming into that game was that, hey, we're going to see a ton of zone read, a ton of RPO. You know, I think a lot of people thought like 8 to 12 carries maybe, and that just really did not end up being the case.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I guess that also goes to like they do truly, I think, trust him to run the full offense and, you know, to throw in certain situations where maybe some people on the outside looking in are expecting that would be a QB run. And, you know, they said it after the game. It's a big deal, and I'm sure it is to TJ on that last 4-minute drive to close them out when you call 2 pass plays in a row and you believe in your guy that he's going to execute, not do something foolish. And he did. And so I think to your question, that's a product of belief in TJ and just running the full offense as you have, but just then sprinkling in that added element of his feet where maybe he's got a little more to that than Rhule does. And that part was very useful. There's no question.
So so Nebraska offensively, there's this conversation. It's kind of the undertone of why, if it's, and I'm not, you can insert names because I don't think the specific names ultimately matter in coaching. You have a job to do as a coach. So I say all that to say that, and you look at, well, a coach called a game like this and it played to such and such strengths.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it looked. Does it have to look a certain way at the end for us to be consistent with that philosophy? Because I ask the question because I say at sometimes Coach Holgerson's going to call a game or an offense that accentuates Dylan's strengths too.
Right.
It's just we have to like the way it looks when it looks the way we want it to. I'm just trying to balance. Is it all about how it looks at the end before we decide if we like it or not?
I mean, it's a good question. I suppose there's some of that. I mean, there's been games this year where I felt like Dana and Dylan have meshed really well too. And trust me, I don't want to make the whole discussion pitting this guy, that guy sort of thing. But I just thought in this particular week, when you have, some would see it as a challenge with a new quarterback. And I'm probably getting away from your question, but I just like that Nebraska looked at it as an opportunity all week instead of a roadblock, you know, and when you have that sort of mindset, you can go on the road and win a game like that. And I think they looked at it as an opportunity, partly because that's the head coach's MO, but also because they've seen the work that TJ has put in all offseason. I mean, let's not forget when he got here, guys, there was a real conversation about like if he'd be like the third quarterback with some people. You know what I mean? Like he
wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
Gramstad him and Marcos, you know, and so you're like, okay, you know, maybe they're going to go sort of with the older guy as the backup, and then who's going to win between those other two as third string, and you start to pick up sound in the offseason in the spring. Like TJ looks pretty good. He can spin it. He's a little more mobile than we thought and all that stuff. And he just did not stop with that. Like some guys in their true freshman year, they have that like 1 or 2 weeks in the spring when it's kind of looking good for them, and then it kind of fades, and it didn't. And he's just kept progressing. And I think that's why there was so much confidence, and Dana had confidence, like in certain things, like, yes, he can give us this element maybe a little differently than Dylan, and I can play to that a little bit more. But I also believe in this guy to execute the same type of stuff that Dylan has done in certain situations, and to be able to make checks and all of that. And I just thought that was really impressive from both the player and coach this week.
BC, what do you think we might see after TJ has had a bye week compared to what we saw just from half against USC into the UCLA game? Like, how much do you expect them to try and get him comfortable with more parts of the offense? Do you think he's already there? Like, is there something specific you're looking for?
I don't think there's going to be a dramatic shift. Like, I mean, obviously, if you feel like you can push it one more notch, you do, I guess. But there's a lot of stuff I think already in that book that he can run that they feel you can win games with and can work. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what type of team they meet in Happy Valley with Penn State. Obviously, that's a squad that they've got great dudes on that D line, and they if they want to be, they can be pretty disruptive. That can still be a really good football team. They got a lot of good athletes, and I'm trying to think, is that their senior day? Is that going to be their senior day? I don't know if that still gets guys motivated or not, but we'll see if Penn State still has juice after what happened against Indiana. But Nebraska's got to prepare like they are going to get Penn State's best, and like they're going to play at the top level they can. But to your question, I don't know, Ravi, if they add a little bit more, but I think there's enough on that menu that they feel like they can go in there and win a game like that.
Is there a way that Nebraska has to play relative to what you think the next opponent brings to the table to formulate an opinion on how you feel about this offense is moving?
I mean, I just love the fact that Emmett is just so consistent now, and if you can keep that rolling through these final two games, you got a chance to win both of them. And I like that the O-line has, I think, really just they've caught their stride sort of with Emmett, like this feeling like, hey, we can really get after people running the ball. There are some staples we can feel really good about. And so that's the part to me that's the big deal. Like, just keep playing into that, keep leaning into that. They're confident group right now in how they can run it and how they can block people up front. And that Emmett, even if it is a play that isn't the most well blocked, can get sometimes 5 or 6 yards out of it and still put you in a good down and distance. And so I don't think they got to reinvent the wheel or anything these last two games. I think you just get ready, like, let's keep slogging it out. And they've got a pretty good tempo going right now with things. And if you put young TJ in some good third and short type spots, like, it doesn't matter if it's Penn State or Iowa or who the helmet is, he's capable of moving the chains against those guys in those situations. So with Emmett in this O-line, it's been nice for this offensive line. Let's just focus on them for, with kind of the beating they took after Minnesota and some of those midseason games, to have kind of reshifted the narrative by just flat out getting after some people in the run game. And credit to them.
That is our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, great stuff as always. We appreciate it.
All right. Thoughtful one.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, B.
That's Brian Christopherson. Husker. My favorite part is, I think it might be Brunt. What? No. No.
Well, it's good to. So, okay. That's like getting the hug that's like the hug that I gave Dirk at Costco. Yeah. That made me feel good.
Yeah, he's like, no, this is about you and me.
It's not being weird that I want to have a connection.
You said, no, this is about you and me.
How it translates to wins. That. I'm not even superstitious, but that was kind of cute. That was funny.
You little stitious?
No, I'm not.
It's like a church potluck. You don't want to offend anyone.
So now I'm curious what we're walking into.
Food-wise?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Is he being serious?
Listen,
I'm already. You want to know what a baby I am? I'm constantly telling myself.
Okay.
Right?
I have follow-up questions after this, but it's okay. Not about what you're about to say about the church.
So
potluck.
we can't take a big plane because
they don't have the airport at Happy Valley for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, don't get used to this. It's going to be, miserable heading into Happy Valley." And it's already, if Millard South wasn't bad enough, it's giving me an ulcer.
Yeah.
Is that?
No, I don't blame you. Like, you get kind of used to certain.
It's not even so much that is, like, they've had to learn to travel, the business approach, the
So you don't
protocol.
like throwing a wrench in that?
Just something else that shouldn't matter, that you can't let matter.
You have to deal with it. So I,
just being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Literally.
I have questions about the church potluck situation.
Are you going to have the cojones to ask Kyle how he did not know if there was meat in the lasagna?
100%. It's the first question
I
I'm
hope
asking.
he gives you the same answer he gave me.
And I will call him a borderline serial killer.
Do I look like the kind of guy that is concerned about protein in my lasagna?
Concerned and unable to notice are not the same thing. They're not.
He has a delivery that's very intimidating.
Do they do at your AME church?
Yes. African Methodist Episcopalian.
Do they do
St. John, the oldest church in the state of Nebraska?
Do they do potlucks?
We used to.
Is that I know, like at the churches I grew up in, which are a little different. There's a lot of potlucks growing up. I didn't know if that was a commonality in the churches that you grew up in.
Yeah, bring a dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a potluck guy. It's more a wish you luck. I don't do potlucks.
I imagine your guys' potlucks were better than ours.
Why? Because we season.
We've got Kevin Suits coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, Miller really shoots it. The Smith was terrific when he was, I believe, he was at Colgate before he transferred in, and he really runs the team. Is great defensively, Grant Foster is, he's such a good slasher, and he can take it off the rim. He can lead the break. His back cuts offensively, his work on the offensive glass, and then Worley really changes the game too because he's totally different, and he can switch some ball screens. He can provide a little bit more pressure defensively for them, and he's a downhill driver. So they can give you a lot of different looks, and you talk about the two bigs a lot. But at the end of the day, they're probably only on the court together 12 to 15 minutes, and the rest of the game you're dealing with a little bit smaller, more athletic lineup.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think it's shown by not losing a set. And I think the Big Ten play has been a lot different than it's been in the past few years, and it's a lot different than what we've seen. So I think we're just adjusting to that, and we're excited to go to UCLA and USC. I think those will be some good games, and I think, if anything, those will be the two teams that, out of the past few weeks, that could test us and take a set potentially. But I mean, obviously that's not the goal. We want to finish that in 3 per usual. But no, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think that shows that. I mean, I think they play a different type of volleyball. I think California has a different style of play. We've been watching USC a lot. A lot of those girls have been playing for a while, and California kind of has a different style of play, and I think that's just something for us to adjust to. And 2 sold-out crowds, I believe, and that's always going to be fun, and that's always a little bit nerve-wracking, just going to an away game in away gyms and playing against teams that have sold-out crowds. So it's going to be exciting, but I do think that those are 2 really good teams.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Kevin Zutz of 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, how are we doing this morning?
Ravi, we're doing really good. Special day over here. Just overjoyed and feeling all the feels this morning. Davey, you can relate to this. When your kids set out a goal, you want to do everything you can to help them achieve it. You support them, but it's their goal, right? And with it being signing day, my daughter is officially signed to play college volleyball, and we couldn't be more proud of her.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, and not just that, but also we've got our NAB Preps Awards coming up, nominated for Class C1 Setter of the Year, nominated for Class C1 Player of the Year. I mean, great day to be in the Suits household.
It certainly is. And it's also weird for me, guys, because we know when this date rolls around professionally every year in the various signing dates that those are special moments for the families, the athletes, the schools, the coaches. I've seen it on the other side. I've never had it on this side, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy, and just like I said, I'm feeling a lot of things this morning. So you got me in a mood.
Oh, hey, listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for all the feels of parenting, because there's just nothing like it. And it's the snack packs, the cool trips, is this really worth it? And the who's driving, and you're always in the car. And listen, Kevin, I get it. You can be as emotional as you want. I'll simply say to you, bravo, job well done, Dad. It's a huge, huge deal when you look at the time and the accomplishments. It's okay.
Yeah,
I got your back.
Thank you. It is really cool. Like I said, you want nothing more than your kids to set goals, work really hard, and get them. And we know that they're not always going to get them. That's the thing with sports. There's a lot of failure. There's trials, and it is a journey. It's an indescribable journey. And plus, signing day for us comes 1 week after having the opposite emotions. There was heartbreak on the state volleyball court, and Wednesday night was pretty challenging for my daughter, her teammates, the coaching staff, and her career abruptly ended. And so to know that 6-7 days later, it is. That was not intended, by the way. 7 days later, 7 days later, it's a different feeling. And of course, thanks go out to the many people that have had an impact and influence on Bella, coaches, administrators, teammates, friends in our neighborhood. Everybody that's really just supported her in her journey. So she's off to Wayne State next year, and that's a program, man. One, we love the coaching staff. Coach Kneifel is an awesome guy and a terrific, terrific coach, and we trust him and his staff with our daughter and the other signees. That'll be announced, I would assume, at some point today. But they're number 3 in Division I right now, and they are hot. Excited to go watch them play on Saturday.
That's awesome, Kevin. Anything else you need to brag on your daughter about before we move on to anything else? I want to give you some space here.
Man.
If you got it.
This segment is going to take me pretty far, Kevin. You have no idea sometimes the impact you can have on other people just by being authentic. I appreciate your transparency. I
appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys letting me indulge here for a few minutes. I'm ready to pivot, though. If you guys want to talk Emmett Johnson, Nebraska volleyball, busy college hoops last night was awesome, guys.
Hoops.
Oh, early November, and we've got tons of ranked matchups. And Creighton didn't play the best, Nebraska didn't play the best, but they won, and their opponent wasn't very good. And man, there was some awesome college basketball on a Tuesday in early November.
I mean, that Illinois Texas Tech game was pretty good. I don't know if you caught any of that, but also
I did.
Just deep cut. I was watching a little Kent State Akron. That was a barn burner. That was a football game in action last night. Akron recovered 2 or 3 onside kicks and converted a 2-point conversion. It was incredible.
I got to start with, I want to start. It's low-hanging fruit. I'm going to get to volleyball in a second. I want to go to hoops. Be honest with me, Kev. When Mast was sitting out and you go back to his first year and his role, did you get or understand the importance of him not playing last year, what it means to that team real time?
No.
I didn't either.
No. And frankly, I wasn't convinced that he'd be back this year.
Yeah.
I thought that he was going to use the year just to get healthy and recover from surgery and then maybe pursue whatever the next opportunity was. I had my doubts that he would be back in a Nebraska uniform. But he really wanted to. He's poured his heart and soul into that recovery, and to see him get the triple-double on Saturday was pretty special. And I'm impressed with his endurance in short time. I've thought that there would be more of a load management with Rienk early in this season, but they've turned him loose. He's logged some pretty heavy minutes already, and it looks like he's moving pretty well, knock on wood if you're a Nebraska fan. And he's going to impact some games in a bunch of different ways. Of course, the exhibition game against BYU was pretty eye-opening that he was back in form. But, yeah, he's going to score it. He's going to rebound it. And they're going to need him to defend when the Big Ten rolls around.
Is there anything that concerned you about last night? Obviously, you mentioned not the cleanest performance against Eastern Shore. Anything that concerned you moving forward, or is it just, hey, kind of a sleepy night, sleepy opponent? Nebraska's still trying to figure a few things out. Like anything portable, good or bad, you think, from that one?
Nothing exclusively from last night. The concern of, Tuesday night's game against Maryland Eastern Shore kind of aligns with what I think for the duration of the season is they will have nights where they're not going to shoot it well. And it's because they're either cold or because the other team's going to defend them pretty tight. When they don't shoot it well, can they create ways to still put points on the board? And that's going to be where Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobson, maybe some of the guys deep off the bench, Leo Curtis, they're gonna have to play pretty important roles with this team because there will be nights they don't shoot it well. They shoot at 35 to 40%, and you're just gonna have to create points, whether it's at the charity stripe in the lane or in the mid-range game. I don't know if Fred really wants much of that. But last night, they led by 31. They win by 19. Can they still score enough long-term to win some ball games? It's going to be different when they get in Big Ten play because I think just the defensive intensity is going to pick up on the other side, and it's going to press this offense.
All right, let me hop over to Emmett and kind of this. It's not a new campaign. It's been vocalized now, like his prowess, the stats, the where is he? How do you reconcile the season he's had, the numbers he's produced, given that arguably was the number one room that generated the most concern in the offseason, outside of probably D-line?
Yeah. Man, so full transparency, I love Emmett. Like as a person, as a player, I love the way his game's evolved too. He is so much more downhill. He's always had some wiggle to him, but this year it is about getting north and south. And I remember talking to him before the Michigan game. We were talking about his progress then, guys. That was almost 2 full months ago, and now we're seeing it all play out. As for the Heisman candidacy and it being vocalized, I honestly think it's maybe a little bit delayed on Nebraska's part. UCLA game probably his best game of the season, but he was really good against Northwestern. He was good against Michigan State. Rewind to the season opener. Remember after they won at Arrowhead, one of the big takeaways of that game, beyond making a play late to seal it, was that it looks like the running back situation is going to be okay because number 21 has bulked up and is really, really good. He had a 100-yard game to start the year. So it's not like all of a sudden Emmett Johnson just had this huge breakout game. He's been consistent. He's been good. And in fact, I think that if Matt Rhule would have said what he said on Monday, 2 weeks prior to, I think there's a lot of nodding heads in the room like, yeah, he's right in this guy, given the the Heisman class of this year, Emmett's not too far off.
What do you think is a bigger strike against his candidacy? That Nebraska is no longer in the college football playoff hunt, or simply that he's a running back?
I think it's probably the Nebraska element, just because Nebraska's had the national spotlight a few times this year, and they weren't able to maximize. You know, the Michigan loss and the USC loss really go against Emmett Johnson's case. However, you know, the USC game in particular, he was really good. He was the least of their problems. And I think we can, you know, move the conversation forward, guys, in saying that Emmett's candidacy for the Heisman Trophy, it gives some validation to the offensive line, yet the biggest criticism in those losses was the offensive line. There is some irony there. Yeah, they struggled in pass protection, but run blocking wise, the O-line has gotten a lot better over the course of the season, and it has produced. And it's allowed Emmett to be in the position he is in right now.
So when you're taking a look at, let me, we're going to go to Penn State here. They shot their shot against Indiana. They've got one in between here. Do you have a way that this is supposed to look that would confirm or deny whatever you think it is about this football team before they kick off in 10 days or whatever it is? Is there a way that you expect this to look?
That's complicated because it's TJ Lateef, and we only have one full game of TJ Lateef quarterbacking this offense.
You said it. I did. I like it.
I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah.
Like what they did against UCLA with TJ running the offense, does it look the same against Penn State? I think that the opponents are very different. So Nebraska could have a totally different game plan. There's a lot of mystery with this game. And as much as this all really stinks for Dylan Raiola, it kind of re-energizes the fans because there is a lot of curiosity for these final couple of games of the season, especially TJ being as effective and efficient as he was out on the West Coast this past Saturday. So to get back to your question, DB, I don't know if it alters my scale in those lens in which I look at this Penn State game. I think that they just need to stay simple. You know, I think you can beat Penn State right now by not making mistakes. And I mean, that's pretty fascinating, right? You're going to ask a true freshman quarterback with one career start to not make mistakes. And that's exactly what Penn State is going to say that they want to do defensively, put pressure on him, rattle him, and try to get the ball out a couple of times.
That's our guy, Kevin Suits, 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, once again, congratulations to you, your family, and your daughter.
Absolutely.
And give her our best on a huge day for her. And maybe we'll see her here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill for the NAB Preps Awards. And who knows, maybe I actually don't know if she's won anything, but I know she's nominated. Maybe we'll see you guys here. That'd be great.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome that she's on that list. It's pretty humbling. And, we thank again everybody for the acknowledgement and the support along the way. I hope that event is awesome. I know that it will because there's so many awesome people over there at Hurrdat and NEB Preps. And pretty cool stuff. Shayla Rautenberg's going to win Player of the Year, though.
You're the man, Suits. I always appreciate you.
We'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right, be good, boys.
That is Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln. She could still win Setter of the Year.
Yeah.
It's
pretty authentic.
Nominated for more than one award. No, that was great. It's cool to see people
well respected by his peers.
Yeah, it's cool to see people in kind of outside their businessy mode sometimes.
I like it. I can appreciate it.
It's like us. You never see us really loose and unplugged, right? So
exactly.
Let's take a quick break here, and then we'll return here before the top of the hour. We'll get to Kyle Crooks at 9, but got to remind you, it's already time to start thinking about maybe buying holiday gifts, decor, food, and more. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of savings while shopping with Centris Federal Credit Union's Roundup program. When you enroll in Centris Roundup, every purchase you make with your Centris Visa debit card gets rounded up to the nearest whole dollar. That amount then gets transferred from your checking to your savings account. It's a simple way to grow your savings through the holiday season and beyond. Learn more about Centris Roundup at centrisfcu.org. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back with more Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, Miller really shoots it. The Smith was terrific when he was, I believe, he was at Colgate before he transferred in, and he really runs the team. Is great defensively, Grant Foster is, he's such a good slasher, and he can take it off the rim. He can lead the break. His back cuts offensively, his work on the offensive glass, and then Worley really changes the game too because he's totally different, and he can switch some ball screens. He can provide a little bit more pressure defensively for them, and he's a downhill driver. So they can give you a lot of different looks, and you talk about the two bigs a lot. But at the end of the day, they're probably only on the court together 12 to 15 minutes, and the rest of the game you're dealing with a little bit smaller, more athletic lineup.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think it's shown by not losing a set. And I think the Big Ten play has been a lot different than it's been in the past few years, and it's a lot different than what we've seen. So I think we're just adjusting to that, and we're excited to go to UCLA and USC. I think those will be some good games, and I think, if anything, those will be the two teams that, out of the past few weeks, that could test us and take a set potentially. But I mean, obviously that's not the goal. We want to finish that in 3 per usual. But no, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think that shows that. I mean, I think they play a different type of volleyball. I think California has a different style of play. We've been watching USC a lot. A lot of those girls have been playing for a while, and California kind of has a different style of play, and I think that's just something for us to adjust to. And 2 sold-out crowds, I believe, and that's always going to be fun, and that's always a little bit nerve-wracking, just going to an away game in away gyms and playing against teams that have sold-out crowds. So it's going to be exciting, but I do think that those are 2 really good teams.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Husker 44 tied at 7, 11-15 until half. Lindenmeyer, the motion man, settles in the trips right. Hunter wide left. Snap. Lateef back to pass. Loads a screen left. Acres of space. Johnson 45 to midfield. Blockers out in front. 45-40. Left sideline to the 30. Breaks a tackle. Tiptoes the boundary. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Huskers! Oh, that was incredible. Johnson caught the screen, broke multiple tackles, tiptoeing the boundary all the way 56 yards for number 21, 13-7 Huskers.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We're going to talk to Kyle Crooks here in just a minute. DB, I was wondering if you could indulge me here for a second.
Absolutely, whatever you want.
So I know that this particular person did you a really large favor, even if you weren't super grateful for it.
Oh, this is interesting.
Your boy Nico Harrison was fired yesterday.
Yes.
So I was just kind of doing this deep dive because obviously he is perpetrated one of the worst trades in NBA history.
Yep.
I don't think that's arguable in any sense. I think he's actually worse at all of his jobs than we think he's been.
Yeah. Okay.
So
a lot of the reports. Go ahead.
So you've got the Luka trade.
Yep.
Which, as mentioned, one of the worst trades in NBA. I would argue one of the worst trades in pro sports history.
Yeah.
Number 2. Failed to sign Jalen Brunson to a very reasonable extension. Jalen wanted 4 years, $50 million for like a year. Yep. That's all he asked for. 4 years,
extensive.
4 years, $50 million. That is less than half of what he ended up getting in New York. And listen, even if you don't know he's going to turn into what he turned into in New York, you knew he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? And then you don't have to trade assets to get Kyrie, who's a headache and whatever. Like, you screwed that up. And then he also, in his previous life, and I know some hoops heads know this, I don't know if people who don't follow it super close know this, was an executive at Nike. One Stephen Curry was a Nike athlete.
Yeah.
And listen, I understand the timeline. Steph Curry wasn't Steph Curry yet. But here's how that meeting went when his renewal was up for Nike. Number 1, they left Kevin Durant's name on the presentation.
I can't believe you got in the weeds with this.
Oh, 100%.
But it was all over. It was all he was getting lambasted.
Number 2, he, by his own admission, called Steph Curry Seth, who at that point, I don't even think was playing at Duke yet.
Yeah.
Like, how do you... And finally, misspelled Steph's name on the presentation. How on earth did this person? So I just want to encourage people.
Yeah.
If you ever think you're not qualified to apply for a job, just do it anyway. Because you might Nico your way into something crazy. And I'm going to start using that as a. I'm going to start.
What's it going to mean if you Nico'd your way in? Like,
if you end up in a job that you are way over your head and in no way qualified for, you Nico'd your way into that situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's certainly not the case with our next guest. He has earned it and doing great at it in year 1. Although he might be asleep on us. No, there he is. Okay.
Oh, wow. You just popped me up like that? Whoa.
Listen, the head was down. You know, I know it's early for. I know we tried to talk to Jess earlier and she was asleep. So I was just making sure. I didn't know if that was like a Husker Radio Network thing that everybody slept in on Wednesdays. What's going on, Kyle? How we doing?
Yeah, mornings aren't my thing. Mornings, maybe they're more of Jess's thing. Damon
not this morning.
They are not.
Yes,
we had her on.
We sleep sometime. We got to sleep sometime, you know.
We put her on. She was on speakerphone because Ravi had a couple of questions about ordering Ubers, and is it an unspoken rule of who sits in the front seat on our rides over to the stadium? We don't really openly talk about it, but how do you think it comes about that we decide who sits in the front seat?
The person who can carry a conversation for the 15, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes.
That's what it's doing.
So DB has never sat in the front seat.
No, he has.
Oh,
I sat in the front seat when we got a car that was too small, and I didn't want Casey scrunch, so we put Jess in the middle, and I sat in the front seat. Where was that, Casey?
Oh, I don't know.
Maryland, maybe?
We haven't had many road trips, I guess, so it's got to be Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've Ben's been a front seater, which is again against maybe his personality, but that was I forget what road trip that was, but
I'm sure he loved that.
He was a tremendous front seater, and I've had the middle seat in the back row probably 2 times, just being a team player, because sometimes you just gotta scrunch in the back. So I've been a middle seat guy, but I am not a front seater. As Damon knows, I'm not a small talk guy. That's
okay.
Just my thing.
So please indulge me a little small talk here, because I have a very important question to ask you that is not football related. I have some concerns that you were unable to identify whether or not there was any meat in a lasagna. I understand if you don't care, but not noticing is a little concerning to me. Are you okay?
Are you okay? That's a question I can give you about 30 minutes.
Casey, give him the answer you gave me about when you were like, do I look like that one? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but because I told him, he wanted me to ask follow-up questions. And I said, well, his answer cut me off. Like, I kind of folded because of your delivery. What was the response you gave me when I said, how do you not know?
I think I said because I just eat so fast that I don't necessarily compute some things that are on my plate. If it's something, if there's Italian, if it's some sort of chicken, vegetable, it's getting deleted. It's not something that I process. So I truly didn't remember if there was meat in the lasagna. I assume there was, and I'm like, you know what? That's a good question. Sometimes you give me a shovel with some of the things that I eat, and I just go at it.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel that way like when I give my dogs like a really good treat sometimes, and I'm like, you didn't even chew that. You don't know what I just gave you.
He said, do I strike you as the type of person that's discerning whether there's meat in my lasagna? I'm gonna clean my plate and move on. And I was like,
vegetable lasagna, meat lasagna, I'm all in. Any sort of Italian, it doesn't necessarily matter. No questions, just eat.
All right. I had to ask. The way DB told the story, I was like,
it was 100% accurate.
No, it was accurate, but I was like, that's a little concerning.
The thing is, I know I'm strange. I know I'm strange. I know I'm not ordinary. So I get all that. It's all good.
And I told him too, Casey, for as well as we get along, you know how to control your delivery, right? When you want to be funny, it's the same as when you don't want to further any conversation. So it's like
the thing is, Damon's starting to realize that I'm very sarcastic, dry humor, one-liner guy. So sometimes Damon will get thrown off when I give him a one-liner jab, and I'm like, Damon, this is me showing love. This is when I love somebody. I just have the one-liners. If I don't say anything, that's just you're in the doghouse.
Yeah. All right, so I have one more very important question. This one's getting a little closer to the subject matter here. So a couple of weeks ago, there was some tension between upstairs and downstairs on the radio call, and I thought you did a really good job of getting everybody settled down.
Settle in.
Maybe one of my favorite calls, and I've been saying it to DB pretty much ever since, is everybody up here and everybody down there needs to settle in. Come on. What's going through your head when you're hearing them kind of go back and forth? We already talked to Jess about this, so I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. When you hear them going back and forth and she's like, bro, I'm where I always am. What's happening in your brain while this is going on?
I could sense, I'm a little weird, but I have a good understanding of situations, social situations, and I could just tell in general that situation was a little icy. It was a little tense. I think it was more of the situation that Dylan had just gone down with injury, right? I think Damon's a little don't talk to me. Like, we got to find a way to win this game. And Jess is just doing what Jess does. And we found out this weekend that Damon, through his binoculars, thought Jess was the TV reporter for the entire game. So that's why he kept asking Jess, "Where are you?" But he was identifying the wrong person. The person that he's worked with for Damon, how many years was it? 4 years. He was looking at an entirely different person. So that's why he was thrown off. And then, so it was a little icy in the beginning. We just had to settle things in. Me and Ben are in the corner, just like, oh, mom and dad are fighting, sort of thing. And, well, we got it. We're all good now. I think as most families, there's disputes and things like that. And I think that's just sort of what that was. We just let it go, let it rock.
I did think, I'm like, why is she wearing where'd she get the green coat during a blackout?
He asked that.
That wasn't like a signal to you that might be the wrong person?
I don't know, man.
This past Saturday, he's like, you were wearing green, right? And it's like, damn, it was a blackout. She was wearing all black. He was not wearing green jeans. So it's him and his Johnny 5 binoculars.
This is what happens when he has somebody else adjust his binoculars. He still can't see out of them.
Unbelievable.
KC.
Again, this is all love. This is how I show love. I have all sorts of issues. Like, I can't show love normally, so I just do it through sarcastic one-liners.
See, that's why you like both of us. We show you our appreciation the same way.
No, actually, you, Benny Mac, and KC have very similar like your deliveries are very, very similar. It's fine. I can take it. KC, you're around me a ton now. And you know how I operate in the booth. I'm whatever, right? But during your call, and I was not even a fan of the GoPro. Like, I want everybody to know that was kind of your baby, and you were during the interview. He's super creative. Let's just do this, and this. But that clip got released, and it's like the one time I was actually sitting and kind of calm. I explained to the guys 2 things. Number one, I felt like I was going to headbutt the UCLA guy standing right next to me. It was unusually I'm looking at them and they're looking at me, and there's like 2 inches between us, and an 1.5 inches of it is glass. So that's that. I wanted to sit down. But the other thing, I told them that I was captivated. That's the first time, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, that I was actually just listening to the broadcast, like just listening to the, he leaks out and it's the 45, the 40, where I found myself being a fan in the moment because I know how to lay out. But that time, I just was actually listening. Do you feel like, because I heard it at Costco, like, do you feel like the evolution is kind of where you're wanting it? I know you're a perfectionist and it's not a finished product, but do you feel like it's getting to where you want it to be?
I was me and Jess were in her office yesterday, and I was saying something to that effect that, like, I feel like our broadcast is in a really good spot. Despite sometimes we go back and forth with each other, like we were just talking about, like, I just feel like, whether it's Jess or whether it's our dynamic. And I listened back to the broadcast a million times over, like you said, sort of a perfectionist in a way. You're always chasing, getting better and things like that. I embrace coach speak more now than ever because I always use that line, like I'm trying to get better every broadcast, every week. But I feel like we're in a really good spot. And I think where we were in Kansas City to where we are now, I think it's in a much different spot. I just think it's the timing of it. I was listening back to the broadcast, the one we just did, and not to toot your horn, but I'm like, wow, Damon, sometimes when you're in it, I don't do a good enough job of listening to what you're saying, right? Because you're always on to the next play. And I'm like, wow, Damon was really on it in this. He's always on it, but like he was really on it in this game. And there's certain things that I think I'm learning as I go about the game through you that I think is super interesting, especially with this transition of TJ stepping in and how defenses have to react and certain things that are now open with the offense. And so it's like I'm learning more and more as we go, aside from the play-by-play side, but what's happening on the field. Like I've always thought I had a good grasp of what's happening, but now you sit next to somebody who sees it at a different level. I think that's really cool because I think I'm starting to see the game at a much different level because of how you're seeing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle, I can attest to that. I've learned more about football in the last 2 years doing this with Damon and like I've watched football my whole life. I was like, oh yeah, I know what's going on. And then I started talking to Damon and asking him questions. I'm like, oh, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
I was just watching the ball the whole time.
You know the cool thing, enough of me. Like the cool thing, you know what I like though, Casey, because we're just going to give a couple compliments here. One of the things that I think is really, really cool coming from Florida and kind of how you had to do your job, we could tell you a lot of things, right? Hey, you know, Josh is this back as an engineer. Jess is this on the sidelines, or B-Mac is this as a spotter. And all of this stuff is going to be new to you. But watching you and Ben, like his shorthand and the numbers and his math and how fast – like, you ever met a guy that can write on a dry erase board in a coherent manner faster than B-Mac? And it's like you guys watching that tap dance is – I think people are thinking you're just blowing smoke when you compliment him during the broadcast about his role. Like that evolution – because it's not for everybody, right? Like, it's – I mean, it's not controlling, but he's integral. In the role, right? So it's fascinating.
He's massive. You know, I mean every bit of it when I've talked to Ben on, you know, whether it's saying it on the radio or talk to him in private. He's a massive part of what we do outside of hosting on air. The fluidity that you may hear in game, that's 98% Ben McLaughlin, right? Like the amount of, if you listen to the amount of reads that we have and the amount of things that we have to do going in and out of break, and we're grateful for that because that means that people are listening and people are pouring money into our broadcast. And but the way that Ben's able to compartmentalize everything, he's been around it for a long time, but now he has to adjust to a new announcer and to my cadences and things. And I think that transition has gone pretty smooth. And I think a big reason why is just Ben, his ability to adapt. He's just a pro. And I think that dynamic in general, you know, the one thing that the on-air product is one thing, but I like to look back at like the dinners we have on Friday nights before games and just I think that's where the dynamic between all of us has gotten better and has gotten stronger. I think that's the coolest thing of this entire thing for me is building relationships with all of us outside of the air, because I think that gets heard when you listen to a 3-hour broadcast is like, we actually kind of like each other and it comes across on the radio.
Let's get into a little football here, Kyle. I know you're a big football guy, so let's talk about the game itself. Starting with the second half against USC, into full week of prep for TJ, into UCLA, now into bye week before Penn State. Obviously, I feel like we saw a progression from USC to UCLA. What type of progression, whether it's in TJ's comfortability or how they want to use him within the offense, are you expecting during this bye week?
Yeah, I think just a little bit more comfort in running the offense. We're going to learn a lot more, and you guys know over these next 2 weeks, really over the next game against Penn State, you're playing much different defenses, much different fronts, guys that are a few more guys that we playing on Sundays here over the next couple games. So I think we're going to learn more about TJ and his ability to handle adversity. I think that is going to be one area that I'm going to look at. You're going to rely heavily on Emmett Johnson, right? He's going to get his 25 to 30 touches, and that takes a lot of the weight off the shoulders of a true freshman quarterback. But when you're behind in the chains and all of a sudden now you're second and 12 or you're third and 13, what does that look like for TJ Lateef? Is he able to drop back, read defenses a little bit more, and rip the ball downfield? So that's what I'm going to be looking at here. When in situations that aren't advantageous for an offense, 3rd and longs and 2nd and longs, how does TJ get them back on track a little bit more? And the talent level on the flip side is going to go up a lot. So again, we know what the game plan is going to be. Hand the ball off to Emmett, get the ball out of his hands quick, have him roll out, which I think is, you see how linebackers and safeties are in conflict all the time now with the ability for TJ to run, and the RPO game is a lot different now. So that of course gives Nebraska an advantage. But when you're in situations that don't put you in great opportunities to be successful, how does TJ find a way to get this offense back on track?
So when you're kind of watching this thing unfold, you hear the compare and contrast this offense with this quarterback. And what do you think gets lost in the mix when we're so quick, kind of like as media and a fan base, to bottom line what we see when we want to compare and contrast? Like, what do you think we're missing in the process as we watch this thing progress throughout the season?
In terms of TJ?
In the team in general, in addition to what we think about the quarterback play.
Yeah, I think you look at the USC game and you see where this team could be, and winning that game where we want this team to be. Could it be a 10-win team? Could it be a 9-win team? Defensively, I think that's an area that you look at too. It's like we want this team to be absolutely perfect. We want to win, beat UCLA 35-7, and you look at the expectation of what every single game is, and blowing out teams that are lower in the standings in the Big Ten, as opposed to, okay, a win is a win on the road in the Big Ten. I think the expectations and sometimes the goalposts move as we head in game. For me, coming into the season, if you were to told me that this team could win 8 games, 9 games, you want it to be a playoff team, right? But is that a step forward in year 3? I absolutely think it is. And then you add the context too of, okay, now you're doing it with a true freshman backup quarterback. You've had multiple injuries at the tackle position. Defensively, defensive front, defensive line, stopping the run, that's been issues. There's been issues there. Getting after the quarterback, there's been issues there. But I think it's continually improving. I think if you sign up for 8-9 wins, which you still have to go out and do, with all the things that have happened this year, I think that's a pretty good year. Now fans want to be in that college football playoff conversation in November, and I get it and I understand it, but I think this is a team that has increasingly gotten better as the weeks have gone along. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Is there a certain place, because I've got a couple in my mind, is there a certain place where you think in particular, whether it's a position group, a kind of portion of the game or whatever it is, that you think has shown the most amount of progress over the course of the season?
I think we're not talking on, and I'm going to talk to Donnie today for the coaches show. How about the
Godspeed.
I think they've all, and I put out this tweet yesterday about the screen touchdown, right? The ability for Justin Evans and Rocco Spindler to get 20 yards downfield and start mauling some guys, right? And then the ability to block from the wide receiver position, I think, is an undervalued aspect as to what those guys bring. But I think the offensive line, the success with Emmett is a lot of it has to do with Emmett Johnson and his ability to be elusive and be a tremendous runner. And I think he's on the screen of a lot of NFL teams now, and a lot of scouts. But I think offensive line, again, with all the injuries that have taken place at the tackle position, for their ability to now settle in, not to use that phrase, I don't even know I was using it, but to protect the quarterback here a lot better of late, before Dylan's injury, that's become a lot less of a conversation. The ability to control the line of scrimmage in the Big Ten. I think the offensive line is a group that we like to get on pretty quickly, but not praise when praise is necessary.
So I'm curious how you kind of balance, because you can see a ton up there. You get a lot of insight. And I mean, bless your heart, because Coach Raiola is very interesting. You guys are a lot alike, kind of straight shooter. What you see is kind of what you get, and I think he is very he's proud, right? He's attacks his craft. He hears the criticisms. He knows it's bigger than just what we kind of dumb it down to. He knows that that's his nephew and his brother's son. And when you have the opportunity to talk to him, what is it that you think we should know or you want people to know when you answer a question by saying what you just did about the offensive line and their progression?
I think that he's a pretty darn good coach. People tend to get on him, but you think about the amount of adversity that his room specifically has gone under, and to have a big reason why your lead guy could be in New York City, in the Heisman ceremony, semifinalist for the Maxwell. A lot of that is Donnie and his ability to get that offensive line going. The consistency of a Justin Evans, a Henry Lutowski. We sort of knew what Rocco Spindler was going to be, right? How about the development of Elijah Pritchett? I know Matt Rhule kind of poo-pooed that a little bit because he didn't want to go too much into it, because you don't want to inflate guys' egos. People watch those press conferences, and he knows that, right? So he knew that if he went on and on about Elijah Pritchett, that gets back to Elijah, and that's probably what he doesn't want to have happen, right? But from where Elijah was, he was the starter going into fall camp. Then all of a sudden he drops down and he's the backup guy. And you're like, where the heck's Elijah Pritchett? To now he's a really serviceable left tackle. He's done a really good job. I think I would love to learn more about his process and what his thoughts are and sort of developing offensive linemen, because I think there's a reserve of young guys that are the future here they've recruited really well in that room, but how he's developed some of the older guys and some of these guys that have come into the program. One of the cool things about you is you're
like clean enough on the dry erase board to formulate your own thoughts, and you listen to the narratives, and some of it is true. I don't mean narratives in a negative light. When you're watching what's going on defensively and their flexibility and kind of how they want to play, how do you see growth? Can you feel growth? Do you understand when those guys take the podium? Because you're one of those guys, and I don't know if you'll grow out of it, but you enjoy being at practice. Like, you're around. You have a feel. Does that help you kind of counterbalance, or is it in addition to, like, how do you play with what you're seeing along the lines defensively?
A lot of it, too, is when you're calling the games through binoculars, there's a lot of things you don't see first time through. And that's why I rely heavily on Damon, sort of your analysis sometimes in between breaks of, okay, how certain guys are playing, because you just don't have the luxury to see everything going on the field, which and you have to go back and watch the games. But
I'm glad you said that, because sometimes I don't know if you want to talk much.
I think that's just me. That's me in general. But Damon, if it's you,
you'll tell me.
Yeah, exactly. I have a million things going on in my ear, and Ben's throwing things at me, and so sometimes I just don't talk at all during breaks. But Dan, how about you look at a weekend like Keona Davis had? I think he's an interesting guy to watch over the next two games in the bowl game, how because I think he's now we didn't really say his name a whole lot throughout the year. Secondary wise, it's, you mentioned Sierra Wright as a Sunday guy. I mean, man, he's been
pretty good.
Of course, from, going to the switch to nickel with Malcolm out. And remember, the secondary is as good as it is without Malcolm Hartzog, essentially for most of the year. And Donovan Jones, and man, he's just been tremendous. And Andrew Marshall, I think it's easy to say that Coach Rhule kind of won the transfer portal this year, right? With Elijah being what he's been, and then Andrew Marshall has been just outstanding this year. And then what you've gotten from Deshaun Singleton. How about Javen Wright, guys? Like, 7th year of college football and everything that he's gone through, he's had a really, really good year. Vincent Shavers. So you just go up and down. Like, this defense to me has just continually gotten better every single week, whether it's disrupting the quarterback or trying to find ways to slow down the run game. The quarterback run's an interesting thing, right? Trying to slow down Nico in this it's a really hard thing to do when you have a 5-star athlete that's Nico's size to bring him down in the open field. Sometimes we take that for granted, just how hard that aspect of the offense is. And we're seeing the benefit of that in a way with TJ on the flip side. But defensively, I think John Butler's done an amazing job. And I'm sure he's going to start getting some calls to, hey man, like, come to our program and help us out. Cause I think John Butler's really, really good at what he does.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers would certainly back you up. 13th in the country in yards allowed per game, 27th in the country in points allowed per game, 23rd in the country in yards per play per game.
You wouldn't know that from Twitter, Ravi.
Yeah, that's kind of why I know it, is because I
tell you two are the same.
I have to make sure. I'm like, okay, I'm not taking crazy pills, right? This defense is actually good. And yeah, every number you want to look up in terms of a totality, if you don't want to split it up and be like, well, they're not very good at this, and they're not, like, the defense is as a whole has been very, very good. And I did want to get back. You mentioned a couple things there. You mentioned winning the transfer portal, and I think you left out a bunch of guys like Spindler, transfer. I think we forget that. Deshaun McCullough, transfer. Williams Winery, transfer. Like, tons of these guys, right, that are just absolutely huge contributors. And, I think there's been sort of this narrative of the last week where, Coach Rhule said, like, oh, we're going to have money to go get whoever he wants. Like, well, they did pretty good anyway.
I didn't. How did it land with you, KC? Because I kind of heard some folks like almost paint them into a corner a year early. Like, I heard a lot of, well, if you have what you need and you better do this. And I'm like, man, you guys, I bet you're a lot of fun at parties. Like, number one, he hasn't been a guy that just goes and spends willy-nilly, number one. Number two, he's always talked about development. And why the early referendums when he's just speaking freely about the state of the program, knowing he's talking to a lot of different people at once?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, too, because as a head coach, I was saying this yesterday, usually you're angling for more money always. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's just interesting that he came out and said that, right? That we have everything at our disposal to pay for anything that we need to pay for. Usually you want to keep that in your back pocket and keep that a little silent because you always want more money, right? But I just think, one, the alignment is huge. And that's a word we've heard a bunch between Troy and Matt. I think the relationship between athletic director and football coach here at Nebraska is incredibly unique. And I think in the end, that's a huge reason why this program is going to be where everybody wants it to be, where everyone's waiting for it to be. And yeah, you lost the Michigan game, the USC game, but this program's taken massive leaps since year one. It's taken a jump here in year three, and we'll see how the season ends, right? And if you're 9-3, you could put a definitive stamp on that. But I think it's just taken massive jumps this year of people want to be here, whether it's transfers, and you're seeing what he's doing in recruiting with that 27 class, and you're getting more good news as you go with high school recruiting. This is a fashionable place to be now. And I think Coach Rhule understands that. And like we've always said, he just seems like he's comfortable and in his own skin right now. And there's good reason, because there's a lot of good things happening around this program.
All eyes for you on Iowa SC, or like, I know you're a ball knower or a ball watcher. What gets your focus on a bye week besides you probably going over your play charts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch all of Penn State, Michigan State, which, it's funny, that game's CBS 2:30, and you think of some of the great games that you get in that time slot. That's two teams that are really, really struggling right now. Michigan State, that could be another coaching change. That could be. I don't know if you want to do it this time though, because I don't know who you're going to get with all these coaching openings. I would say Iowa SC. I've become more Big Ten biased as we go, because this is the league you're working in, right? This is, you know all the players, you study all the teams, so there's all the storylines going into the game. But I'm going to have an eye on just Penn State and Iowa. Just I'll watch my SEC background. I'll watch some of those games as well. But I'll have the quad box. Actually, hopefully ESPN comes to an agreement here with YouTube TV, because you can't really do the quad box on YouTube TV. But I'll be on my Watch ESPN app and watching all those games.
Are you more surprised that Lagway or Nussmeier got benched?
I mean, Lagway was not playing well. Nussmeier, I think, probably surprises me a little bit more. They have Tramel Jones is a high level guy they have backing up DJ in Florida. I didn't get to watch any of that game against Kentucky, but that was a shocking score. I mean, there's guys opting out now, whether it's for injuries or just for the rest of the season for Florida. So I'm of course I'm not in it, but that coaching search to me is one that I Google every single day to see what this is. And they're moving in silence right now in Florida. I mean, they're all in. It's pretty obvious they're all in for Lane Kiffin, and Lane is not denied, I think, any mutual interest. He's said, I think this week, we're going to wait until that time comes, and then I'm going to, worry about that later. I owe everything to this team right now. I think that's a classic line of somebody that's truly thinking about where he wants to go. So I'm very interested in what Florida does with that coaching search. But I would say probably I was a little bit more surprised with Nussmeier, but Lagway's not. I mean, it's been an average year. I think part of that is the injury he had in fall camp. He didn't really have a full off season.
All right, now I already booked reservations at Happy Valley. I'm not going to say where just yet. I'm just telling you, it was very slim pickings with what was available.
Well, I can imagine that. I mean, the amount of people in that small town, it's going to be truly hard to get anywhere, right? To be able to have the ability to get a seat somewhere. So I is it Italian? Is it, what are we looking at?
It is not quite. I will send the link to the team, and you guys can do with it what you will. But no judgment. I tried. I think we'll be fine. Like, I feel good about it. It's just it wasn't my first choice.
I think you're batting 1,000 this year in your picks. We Ravi, we ate dinner at was it Maryland in a retirement home? I'm sure that story has been told, and that was probably the best dinner I've had in a long time. The sushi one was, sushi's not necessarily my bag, but it was really good. And the steak that Damon had was top 3 all time. The Chilean sea bass is something that we still think about and talk about. And Jess had a bite of the Chilean sea bass, and she had to stop talking about it. So
I couldn't believe Ben shared. Like, good on him.
Yeah, Ben's a giving guy. Ben's a much nicer guy than I was led to believe when I first got here. He's actually a really, really good guy.
Do you look at us weird when he and I are like, okay, you get half of this and I'll get the other half, and order it like this, and then we can just trade? And you're like, these are grown men doing this.
Smart. That's the way to do it when you're paying $50 for one thing. You just got to get a little crafty and a little creative.
Well, and you never know. You might want to try some other stuff.
Just do it. Contrary to popular belief, I do what I'm told, right? I let Benny Mac.
I made the mistake, Ravi, of ordering the salmon tacos. I cannot do things that look raw. And I should have known in a sushi place that it was going to look raw. I thought it would be like cooked salmon tacos. I didn't even look at them. So
he goes, yeah, that's just not the right color for me.
And Damon, who ate those vegetables off your plate?
You did. That a boy.
I was gonna say,
this guy's vegetables. He just started laughing.
Oh,
this guy's not eating a single vegetable on his plate.
Nope.
Not a one.
Casey had my back. He is a clean plate guy.
Like,
I'll give that to you. It is a thing to clean your plate, so I can appreciate that because I'm the same way.
I eat fast, efficiently, and nothing is left behind. That's how I work.
That a boy.
Casey, we appreciate it as always. Enjoy your bye week, and we'll see you. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Appreciate you guys as always.
Thanks, Casey.
That is Kyle Crooks, the voice of your Nebraska Cornhuskers football team. Good stuff there as always.
I'm telling you, he's a funny dude.
I might have to.
We forgot to ask him about how far we got dropped off at the stadium.
Shoot! I got caught up on the lasagna.
I told you.
I know. Well, you said I wouldn't ask. I was going to ask.
He's like, look, man.
Might have to yell at some people in the chat here in a second.
Why? What are they doing?
Well, you know how the goalposts usually sit right at the back of the end zone?
Uh-oh, are they moving?
I think they're trying to move them maybe forward.
What with regard? Give me a clue.
Butler. Well, hasn't played very many good quarterbacks. Yeah, we'll see what happens next year. And
okay. All right.
I don't know. I've been maybe Googling some quarterback stats that he's played this year. I don't know. I think Jaden May was pretty good. I think Brendan Sorsby's pretty good. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Boy. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla, Hurrdat Sports Live now.
How many national championships did John Cook coach the Nebraska volleyball Huskers to?
3?
Was that a question mark or a period?
I don't know. It's either 3 or 5.
I think it's 3.
It's at least 3.
I think it's 3. Stick with 3.
I'll go 3. Gentlemen, it's 4. 2000, 05, 15, and 17. Store that in your memory bank. That's all right. How many national championships did John Cook coach the Huskers to? 4. Good job.
They're both really good. So UCLA, they have been up and down, but they have the players, that individuals that could start on a lot of teams. But they do play a lot of different players. And I think USC is rolling, and they're young, but super talented, and they're playing great as well. I feel like, this time of the year, there's teams getting better and teams that are pretty stagnant, and I feel like both these teams are getting better and playing well right now. I think I've never played at either of these places indoor. Just done beach at USC, and seeing it's this time of year. Well, it's supposed to be great weather here this weekend, of course, but you're expecting colder weather in California to be nice, and so I think getting out of town to a nice climate is always good in the middle of the season too. And we'll get to do some extra things. We're leaving a day early, and that ended up being a great call because of flights and the government shutdown, so we shouldn't have any issues. But, we'll get to do some stuff on Thursday, and then the day off in between. Won't just be sitting in our hotels.
Hopefully he will now, though, right? I mean, the flaw in college football today is so much of it is preseason this, preseason that. Like, look at the rankings of the teams that were the top teams, and really the CFP has figured it out, right? Like, they do it now. They wait and see your body of work, and they do it now. And so, this team's going to be really good, but hey, wait, they're 3-6, and this team, like, what's Minnesota's record right now? I don't know, 6-3. I mean, how could you ever lose? Well, they're a pretty good team. And so I just think, people kind of bias things. Like, this team has 2 losses and this team has 2 losses. This team's still in the top 15. This team's out of the top 25 because a lot of it's just pre. So, Emmett's having a breakout season. Emmett will have a lot of decisions to make. Does he want to go play in the NFL? You know what I mean? If Emmett decided to come back, he obviously would be a preseason All-American, Heisman Trophy. He'd be on all the watch lists, so But I'm not so sure he shouldn't go play in the NFL, right? I think he's going to be a great pro player. So.
At Centris Federal Credit Union, We have the tools and resources to help our members fulfill their financial goals, with a focus on building a stronger community for the next generation of leaders. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
What is going on? I'm Kyle Crooks. Got to buck up, Buttercup.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite expressions from DB. Everybody needs to settle in here. Oh, that was a cold-blooded drive.
And that is just easy math. Number 6, 4-6. We'll take all of them.
I don't know. You and your math.
DB, you and your math. Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live.
Good to know we get along.
No,
He's a cool dude.
I like Kyle.
He's a cool dude.
I also, I said, like, he's starting, I think you said he's starting to have a little bit more fun, starting to loosen up a little bit. I think he's starting to, outside of just being professional, actually like the team a little bit more.
Yeah, I told you that takes time for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that as I don't mean that as a bad thing whatsoever. Yeah. Like, it would be impossible to come in from his background and just automatically be a Nebraska fan, right? Like, that's not a real thing. Right. I'm aware of that, right? And that's part of the reason I think it's so challenging for people, whether it's what we do or what Kyle does or what Kyle and you do, right, to come from the outside, especially in this market, because people will sniff it out.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not very forgiving, right? I'm from here. And Nick Baugh has had this too. I'm from here. I have grown up with this. I literally have a picture of when I'm 7 years old with Brooke Behringer. Like, I have grown up loving, like, this state and the sports in this state since I can remember. And I still get sometimes like, oh, you're a Nebraska hater, or oh, you're just a Creighton guy. Like, I get that, right? And I'm as Omaha and Nebraska as it gets. So to come from the outside, I can't imagine how hard that is.
Yeah, he's one of the things he doesn't get near enough credit for is he's super perceptive of, like, he can read a room, and he's amazing at reading people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you talk about a guy with a good sniffer.
Yeah.
He's very good at that. Like,
yeah.
And he and I never talk about this,
mm-hmm.
right? It's never really come up, but he gets a good feel. He can do it without having to communicate, which is that's the forensics, the profile,
yeah.
Which is why we get along. So I have to feel him out, right? Does he like my humor? Does he not? Does he like quiet? Does he not? So the more time we spend outside of work, the better I have a feel. Because sometimes during the break, I'll say, well, this is why Nico got out of the pocket, right? People are going to, and I'll say, sometimes I'm kind of a Richard head, but it's not to him. It's just in general. Like I said, people are going to cry that he got out of the pocket, but let me just tell you why. So I'll, and I think I never know if he likes that kind of stuff, but apparently he does. And he takes it in without having to say much. He can look at me and be like, B-Mac said, I told you. I'm like, Ben, I don't know where the South media press room is. Will you walk with me? No. And Kyle looks up out of his chair because he said, I'm like, what do you mean? No. He goes, no.
It's not feeling it.
It doesn't interest me right now.
Yeah.
I go, well, you didn't even think about it. He goes, I know. I didn't have to. Right? Like, I have no idea where I'm going. Yeah. But the next time I needed to go somewhere and I didn't know where I was going, like he's like, okay, I'll go with you. I think he felt bad. And he knew he was gonna knew he was gonna hustle me out of some waffle fries, but it's probably what it was.
No, I do think it's
the chemistry is cool.
The chemistry helps a ton, but I do think it's challenging to come in from the outside and like it does take a while, like to kind of, ingratiate yourself and to like, I do think he's starting to enjoy this football team.
Yeah. And it's like KCS said, and it's not all one thing or all the other, but to always take the negative vantage point of something, I don't. So I'm super childish. This just in. Do you know what I'm secretly cheering for the wrong reason?
What's that?
Because I told you 2 weeks ago, I said, I just have it's the first time I've said it. I just had the gut feeling that Coach Rhule is going to get this thing right. Like he's going to turn this around. There's just too many good things. There's just too many.
The alignment,
things.
The whole thing. Yeah.
So now I'm like, yeah. And you know why I want him to be good? Not because I can cheer for a team that I like. It's like, what will some of these people do at their jobs?
Yeah.
Like if Nebraska's good, what will some of these, like how will they be able to do their job?
So this is the thing that is going.
Because you talk about being able to sniff out.
Oh, yeah.
Lack of authenticity. Like, and I hate how people try to disguise their delivery. No, I wasn't saying that. I said that, like, you're not good enough to fake it.
Well, and
you can hear it in what you say.
Yeah, and there's and this is I'm not even talking about anybody in the chat here. Like, there's people that like are public figures, or there's a million podcasts and websites and whatever. Like, you can go find them if you want to, but I kind of give fans. I mean, I know I chastise them, but I give fans a little bit of a pass because that's what fans do, right?
Yeah, and I'm cool.
And so like I'm going to call you out, right?
Is it okay if I like a guy like Jimmy, or should I not like?
You
Jimmy?
can like Jimmy.
Okay.
I
don't know Jimmy.
I don't either.
But Jimmy does make me laugh.
Listen, he's funny sometimes. Like, he likes my hoodie, so we're cool. But like,
I like your hoodie.
Thank you.
Will you be nice to me now?
I'm always nice to you, DB.
That's such a lie.
But like, it's not just fans are going to fan, right? I still may try and.
We did agree that Jimmy Palmer was his government, right?
I think he said it was.
He told us it was his government. Okay.
I will try and.
I was like a guy that can use his real name.
Give a different perspective. I might try and call you out and be like, hey, like for instance, I might be like, hey, Jimmy, like they've actually played some really good QBs this year. Brent Sorsby is a really good QB.
I'm missing this. Do I need to put my glasses on?
This is a pretty.
Is this the goalpost moving thing?
Yeah, it's a pretty far ways back, but.
Oh, okay.
And so like,
forget it.
Like Jaden Maeve is a really good QB. Like Malik Washington's having a really good year. Like they played some good QBs.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the QBs are going to be next year, so I can't say wait till next year, right? So I can say that and say that to Jimmy and be like, hey, like I think they've played good QBs this year. I don't think that's a good reason to say
the wait till next year thing.
Yeah,
is like what people were saying about Rhule having the. Well,
but that's
if you got everything at your disposal, you better why resign yourself to that?
But that's not even who we're talking about right now. And Jimmy, they might face better next year. We don't know though. Like currently, we have no idea. That's kind of my point. But
yeah, so if Mendoza goes
1-1 in the NFL draft, I have no idea who Indiana's going to get, right? And so I give the fans more grace. Even if I am going to try and correct it, if I think they're wrong, right? Readers. But the people that I give significantly less grace to is the people that either do this for a living or have a large platform, right? Because.
Yeah, I heard you the other day.
What'd I do?
Did you not hear yourself on Monday?
Ravi?
Maybe. So here's the thing, though. Like, it's one thing for a fan to do it. It's another thing when you are literally profiting off of the negativity. This is what I brought up last week in the 3 categories of media members where I am having, because here's the problem with that group of people. It's not that they point out the negative when there's actual negative to be found. It's when the negatives become too few to base your entire platform off of it, they will make negative things up in order to continue to profit off of negativity. That's where I have a problem. And we're already starting to see some of that, right? I understand when fans do it and I disagree and I push back and we have a conversation like Jimmy and I just did, right? But when The problem when you're making negative things up is it doesn't matter when you get corrected because you're not interested in the truth because you made it up in the first place, right? So that's where we're starting to have problems already, I think, with fellow media members or people with platforms or whoever you want to call them, right? Because there's a million of them now. There's a million Husker podcasts and websites and YouTube channels. And like, I'm really not even talking about anybody specifically because there's so many of them, right? And this is the thing I hate about national media too. There's certain people in national media that will just pivot to the next negative thing that they feel like they have to make up. And so it's not just a Nebraska thing. It is a thing where if you're not good enough at your job to talk about something positive in an interesting way, then you just keep making up negative things. That's why I get mad at some of the headlines that we look at when they're on our thing here in when we're looking at our TVs here in the studio about some of the stupid questions that they put up on the lower thirds on the TVs. That's why I get frustrated because I think it's incredibly lazy. I think it's incredibly lazy because
I have to ask Jack what his question was. Keep talking.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. So I think it's incredibly lazy. And B, I think it is knowingly and willingly divisive, which is there's no reason for that. Sports should be fun. You can get mad. You can get frustrated. And I do all the time. I'm sure people follow me on Twitter and understand that I get snarky and sarcastic. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be divisive or to foster negativity. I feel a certain way in the moment. Then I go back, rewatch the games. And if I feel like I'm wrong, I try and go back and get it. And that's what we have a show for about 15 hours every week. Right? Like, but there are certain outlets, certain people across both local and national media that their only go-to is profiting off of negativity. And guess what? You're going to be in a real bad spot when this thing starts going, because I do think it is going to start to go, and then your negativity is going to sound more and more and more ridiculous, and the only people that are going to be left around you are idiots. Have fun with that.
So at what point do you think it's are you good?
Yeah. Sorry. I just needed
I always got to check on you.
Needed a breather.
I have a couple of questions because one of the reasons I hate the schedule talk, because I'm assuming the goalpost thing, somebody in the chat was talking about next year's schedule, right?
Well, so it was.
We were on break and you're yelling something about Sorsby. I'm like, who are you talking to?
It was about Butler and his numbers. And this was the conversation I was having with Jimmy was he said, hey, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. And
who are we driving fast on?
He was talking about Butler's performance this year. And I was like, hey, man, like those are all pretty good numbers.
Nobody's okay.
And
that's
then
fine. It's not my rant.
I think he was picking. I think he said Kyle said that he was doing an amazing job. And he said, let's pump the brakes on amazing. And I was like, it's been pretty damn good.
But why though?
So that was my point with the quarterbacks. And he said, like, hey, the quarterbacks haven't been that good.
Why didn't you just ask Jimmy why he has to pump the brakes on amazing? Because Jimmy doesn't agree with it?
He said that it was because he hadn't played. That's where the quarterbacks came in. He said he hasn't played very many good quarterbacks. And he said, look at who they might have to play next year.
Don't even think about cutting
Cut it. And then
you need to cut it.
And then I brought up, hey, these are the good quarterbacks he played, and that's where we had the discussion.
Okay. So do you know why I hate the schedule talk about next year? It's not even that we don't know who's going to be playing. That's part of it.
That's why I hate it, because we have no idea what any of those teams are.
Was Clemson supposed to be good?
Really, really good. Top 3?
Was Penn State supposed to be good?
Top 2?
Was Arizona State supposed to be good?
Yep.
Okay. So
what? I mean, pick one. Just pick one.
Florida,
like LSU, like Texas, like pick one.
South Carolina was
top 10.
10.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, why? I just don't. So that's where I would agree with you and be like, why go there this early when you don't have to? It just seems like unnecessary, wasted energy.
And I've told people, I'm going to make you go there in like June or July, even though you're not going to like it then either.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we're at least in the neighborhood of having an idea, right? Yeah. And listen, I agree. Jimmy, like some people are going to do the thing where if they struggle against Penn State or Iowa defensively, they'll be like, but we were told he was amazing. Listen, they've gone 10 games without giving up a 400-yard offensive performance. It's been great.
Though, which I think is where we vastly differ. Well, and I believe me, it aggravates me. I typically will only whine and moan to you, or I don't know. I don't have a ton of loved ones, but whomever's going to listen, right? But how I try to circumvent that is I like for people to get their opinions out ahead of time, or I want to ask you what it looks like. So you're just not afforded the luxury of going back and saying, well, it was just this. And I'm equally like that. I don't like when people say, well, if Nebraska just would have done this, because they didn't. Or when if an opponent, oh my God, they got fortunate with the drop, or, I had the famous quick meltdown and I had to tell Bish, I just don't like when it was whatever it was with the unsportsmanlike. Like there's only a couple of things like that I bristle up at, because
it's like where they got bailed out by the unsportsmanlike conduct.
But I'm like, God, we lost to Troy at home on the same targeting call from a free safety. Like people do dumb things. It's why.
And it's like you very easily could have called a personal foul and Turner Corcoran gets shoved after a play, and they didn't.
But it's why you actually play the game. So anyway, not to belabor the specific point. That's why I'm not real big on the nitpicking, because you could do it all the time
about everything.
All you could really do is talk about kind of what happened during the course of the game.
And to your credit, I think you were the same way when Nebraska was close to winning games, and you're like, yeah, but that's not how it went.
Yeah, they're not winning.
You're like, it's 3-9 still.
Yeah,
like it's 4-8 still. Like, so you're the same way the other side too.
100%.
So like, to your credit,
that 100%.
Yeah.
Like
that's how I know you're telling the truth. It's because it's both ways.
And I was the first one to say Rhule has to get better in game.
Yeah,
like I said that during the offseason. I'm like,
yeah,
if they want to get better,
that's an area where
they have to get better.
Absolutely.
Right. But I do want to say this. So one of the things that bugs me about where was everybody when I was like, hey, hammer Nebraska
on UCLA? Yeah, on Monday.
But do you know what I hear? So do you know what infuriates me?
What's that?
Is on Saturday or Sunday morning when they say, yeah, but it was UCLA. Like that's just going to do something to me. And it's not that
Nebraska was an underdog in that game.
Hear my heart.
Yeah.
It's not that I want you to say, hey, I was right. It's where was that bravado? Like, where was that sentiment
on Monday
before you saw the outcome?
Yeah. If that was how they felt.
I just hate when once we get it and we see it, then we talk about it as if
it was
to
fit
our narrative.
Yeah.
Like that's why I always want to know before. Hey, what did we think before? What does it look like? What does a track meet look like to you? Because
that's why I had to eat against Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota was very good. They hammered Nebraska. I still don't think Minnesota was very good. Like that didn't change. The result of what happened didn't change. Nebraska played terrible.
Yeah, I'll say this about Minnesota and move on. I think the thing that happened to Nebraska was occasionally you get into these things and you find out somebody wants something a lot more than you do. You think you know.
Yeah.
Until you actually get in there and have to do it. You know, T-Mac is famous for saying, he said this for as long as he's been in the chat. He hates the close or if Nebraska would have. So what does he do when we do that? He'll double down and say, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Right. So to some people that's going to be annoying, but it
can be.
He's been consistent with that from the jump.
I can be annoyed. I can't be mad at him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just like over time, I don't know what's the desired outcome.
Yeah, I mean, is it to be right or to get it right?
Don't go making fun of me.
No, I'm not. I think that's a good example of what we're talking about. Because if UCLA, if the narrative was going to be but it's UCLA, then the narrative on Monday when you said hammer Nebraska should have been like, well, yeah, duh, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody say that?
No,
because you know what? I make a preview video every week for our socials, and you know how many people are like UCLA 28-7, UCLA 38-12, like a ton of them. I know it's not how people felt. I got receipts.
You mad?
Not mad. I keep track.
Shocker.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back it's tomorrow, Thursday. We'll be back.
Already?
It's Thursday already. It's bye week going by.
Shane, are you going to make an open for Friday for something that's not going to happen?
No.
What about just like a general college football?
Well, yeah, whatever happens on, Thursday night football. Be one of those opens. I mean, it's been garbage so far the last two primetime games.
This should be a sensational NFL weekend, so you will have no. And I'm looking forward to this weekend too in college football. Notre Dame, Pitt, baby.
Listen, there's
Texas, Georgia.
It's a good weekend.
Iowa, SC.
We got a good weekend.
And Lalo, Reposado. Baby.
That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back tomorrow. Have a good week, or have a good rest of the day, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, Miller really shoots it. The Smith was terrific when he was, I believe, he was at Colgate before he transferred in, and he really runs the team. Is great defensively, Grant Foster is, he's such a good slasher, and he can take it off the rim. He can lead the break. His back cuts offensively. His work on the offensive glass, and then Worley really changes the game too because he's totally different. And he can switch some ball screens. He can provide a little bit more pressure defensively for them. And he's a downhill driver. So they can give you a lot of different looks. And you talk about the two bigs a lot, but at the end of the day, they're probably only on the court together 12 to 15 minutes, and the rest of the game you're dealing with a little bit smaller, more athletic lineup.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think it's shown by not losing a set. And I think the Big Ten play has been a lot different than it's been in the past few years, and it's a lot different than what we've seen. So I think we're just adjusting to that, and we're excited to go to UCLA and USC. I think those will be some good games, and I think, if anything, those will be the two teams that, out of the past few weeks, that could test us and take a set potentially. But I mean, obviously that's not the goal. We want to finish that in 3 per usual. But no, I'm not surprised. I think we know what we're capable of, and I think that shows that. I mean, I think they play a different type of volleyball. I think California has a different style of play. We've been watching USC a lot. A lot of those girls have been playing for a while, and California kind of has a different style of play, and I think that's just something for us to adjust to. And 2 sold-out crowds, I believe, and that's always going to be fun, and that's always a little bit nerve-wracking, just going to an away game in away gyms and playing against teams that have sold-out crowds. So it's going to be exciting, but I do think that those are 2 really good teams.
Welcome into Nebraska Shoot Around. I'm Ravi. That's Mike Sautter here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, coming to you a day after a
convincing win. No, a win.
Probably not how you wanted it to look.
A win. I'll say this:
it's a win.
It's a win.
A win is a win
over Maryland Eastern Shore, who is one of the worst teams in Division I basketball.
What was the number going in? 358 out of 365? 359?
358 out of 365 in the Ken Palm rating. So there's 365 Division I basketball teams. There were also 300 and close to that number in adjusted offensive efficiency, which clearly showed last night. That team cannot shoot.
Also bad.
Cannot do anything. And after the game, they are 364th out of 365 teams in adjusted offensive efficiency in the country. And
but they are up to 352 in the overall Ken
Yes,
Palm.
they moved up because they
Strength
played
of schedule.
a team that is a top 50 team. So it played a quad 1 team. So, they've played 2 quad 1 teams. Maryland Eastern Shore has played Georgia, where they scored 29 points. And then Nebraska, they scored 50. And frankly, they shouldn't have scored 50. It should have been probably 40-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nebraska couldn't make a shot. And that's a concern. It's not the end of the world, because I do think, like I've said before, I don't think that there's going to be a night where Price Sanford, Connor Cohesion, and Braden Frager all are just totally off from 3. Now, that night was last night.
Which, if you're going to have it, better be against Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yeah. I mean, 6 of 32 from 3 as a team is not great.
So those 3 guys that you mentioned were 3 for 15. Sanford, Frager, and Cohesion.
Frager was 0 for 4 from 3. Cohesion was 0 for 3, and
Sanford was
3 for 8. Yeah.
Which 3 for 8's not terrible. That's fine.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
it's fine. He scored 19 game high. He actually
8
was,
for 13 from
he
had a good game.
He was the pop towards the end of the first half. He had Nebraska went on a 9-0 run. He had 5 of those 9, 5 straight, and then to start the second half, Nebraska started the second half 8-2 run, and all 4 of their baskets were at the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of, after the game, it was said that the game plan didn't change. Maybe they just focused more on the game plan of what Coach Hoiberg said was making Maryland Eastern Shore play with the defense with their feet, meaning try and defend people, and they couldn't.
Yeah, so I always kind of wonder in games like this where obviously Nebraska is going to be able to do some things to Maryland Eastern Shore that won't translate to Big Ten play, right? Whether that's getting the ball to the rim a little bit more aggressively, things like that. I always wonder how much you want to try and play your season-long game plan, like your Big Ten Conference game plan, and get good at that versus, hey,
let's just go out and
we're gonna win. You're gonna win this game.
Roll the ball out and play.
Yeah, you're gonna win this game. How much is okay, we need to win by a certain amount so it looks a certain way, because that's true, right?
Yeah.
And even with a 19-point win, people are like, oh, what happened there, right?
Well, it was 31 at one point,
right?
So that's why it should have probably. And Coach
probably should have been 25-30.
Yeah, Coach Hoiberg was not happy, I'll say, after a 19-point win. He was.
Nor should he be, really.
Yeah, he was pretty, not happy. He was happy with some of the guys that played. Leo Curtis got good minutes, and, got more experience and played decently well, I guess I'll say. Had 6 points and didn't miss a free throw and made his one.
Yeah, got almost 10 minutes.
Attempt. Yeah, I mean, that was good.
Good to get him some reps.
Yeah, they just, Sam Hoiberg was great. Career high, 18 points, career high, 7 rebounds. 4 assists. He had a great
game.
So
2 for 4 from 3. The only guy that shot well, I mean, Price was fine, but Sam Hoiberg shot well from 3.
Right. And so, but he was still kind of upset because they did have a 31-point lead at the under 12 timeout. And he said, we got to put our foot on the gas and get that thing to 40.
Yeah, 100%.
Instead, it went the other way.
Yeah.
And wasn't happy with the way they finished the game at all. The last 7 minutes or so, he was pretty upset, especially against a team
really struggles to score the basketball.
And wildly outmatched. Let's
Yeah,
be honest
not
here. I mean,
close. Yeah.
I do think there is. I do think that is something that Nebraska probably needs to find a way to zero in on, and they'll have opportunities over the course of the
gets tougher
non-conference.
here. Yeah.
It does, but then they've got some other games that they should be able to really put their foot down on.
Right.
Where, like, that is a skill that some teams have to learn, right? To be able to finish out games strong, even if it's like, oh, we're up by 31, we're not going to lose this game. But how you finish does
they
matter.
did a good job against FIU doing that.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
And they shot really well. I mean,
and West Georgia, too?
Yeah.
They did a good job there.
Did a good job of that. They just didn't make shots. And that is going to happen. And finding a way to, win against a much better opponent by not making shots, they're going to have to play defense. And last night, I do think that their defensive game plan was great. Maryland Eastern Shore wanted to get it to the post. They doubled. They had that baseline guy, joker kind of guy. And that was like a Cohesion or Cale Jacobson under the basket that came on a double.
Yep.
And you could tell Rienk or Berke, when the guy got it in short corner, they were letting him go baseline because that's where the double was coming from. And it caused some turnovers and things. So the defensive game plan was great. Coach Lenzer does fantastic.
Really good at what he does.
So
yeah.
It was good. They just didn't. If they would have made some shots, it would have been.
They shot
40 points
poorly from three and from the field. I mean, obviously 19% from three, under 40% from the field. If they shoot even, 45 and 30%, we're talking about a 45, 50-point game, right? Like, this is an unbelievably bad shooting performance. But I did want to you brought up Berke there for a second. How have you felt through? And I know it's 3 games against lesser opponents, but how have you felt the adjustment has been with Rienk Mast being added back to the lineup? I felt like we've seen, I felt like a lot more was needed and asked of Berke last year. How do you feel like this fits his skill set?
He doesn't have to be the primary post defender,
which helps a ton.
He was the best one analytically last year on the team because Braxton Mia wasn't awesome. And Andrew Morgan wasn't a great post defender, but Berke was the best one. So it's helped. It's helped a ton. He's adjusted, I think, really well. It's opened up more space probably for him too on the offensive end. And Rienk just changes the game so much. He's just at the top of the key, even against FIU. There were so many backdoor cuts and him able to pass like through traffic on a cut and hit that cutter. That's amazing. It's great. And his ability to step out and hit a three is.
I would say the fact that you have to honor him defensively as a scorer from that range really changes that.
You have to come out on him, so it opens up the lane for those cutters, and that's part of their offense. So, the backdoor things is good. Now, last night he kind of regressed back to the non-steal turnover guy that Berke was last year, and early and. Credit to Coach Hoiberg because they pulled him right away when that happened. I mean, there was one, he just kind of jumped, didn't know what to do with the ball, and it was just in the offense, and he had it on the wing, and he just kind of jumped, and then it was a travel, and it was like, what are you doing? What are we doing? So that was, not great to see. He had 2 turnovers right away that were like that. So took him out and subbed him out, and that's what there's a lot more depth on this team for Nebraska, and things heat up real quick here.
So as things heat up, you mentioned the depth there. What do you think that looks like in terms of a rotation? I mean, you had obviously a bunch of guys got minutes last night. A bunch of guys got at least 9 or 10 minutes. I think 10 guys got at least 10 minutes last night. So you're looking at, I'm guessing, quite a little bit pared down from there.
Yeah. Braden Freger was the first guy off the bench last night.
And we expect him to definitely be.
He's going to be
part of the rotation.
Yeah. Connor Season is
definitely going to be a part of the rotation.
It's now they're playing without Oogie, who is supposed to be their backup post, swing guy. And is that going to be Jared Garcia? Is that Leo Curtis? Is that and Leo Curtis, when Big Ten play comes, he's going to struggle. He's not physically from an upper body standpoint. He's not skinny string bean. He is from a physical, like strength standpoint,
Yeah.
he's got a ways to go. He
Yeah.
is uber talented.
Sure. Yeah.
He might be the most talented player on the team, naturally gifted talent.
Yeah.
So do you
But got some physical way to go to be ready.
So that's why Oogie, like getting him back hopefully around Christmas time.
I would say what's
hopefully
like,
around Christmas.
So
is their
early
goal.
Big Ten season.
Yeah, maybe
that'd
you
be
miss
good.
the first 2 Big Ten games.
That'd be good.
Having him back will totally help.
Yeah.
But I do think,
so either
they've already kind of pared it down. And I did ask in post game, I asked after the FIU game, hey, you only played 8 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
kind of
have you moved, in that direction?
Mm-hmm.
And that the answer was no, but it feels like there's like an 8.
So Connor, Braden, one of either Leo or Oogie.
Or Jared Garcia at the moment.
Or Jared. So we'll call that one spot.
And then so you have
and then your starting 5 gets us to
Connor,
8.
Cale Jacobson is in that too.
And then so that would be 9.
Yeah. So that's
you
kind
think
of
like
the
9-ish
group. Yeah, that's
okay.
kind of the group.
So not pared down a ton from what we saw.
No, not at all.
We don't expect minutes from like Kendall Blue.
Yeah, Justin. But I was just gonna bring that up. That's the guy that people were super excited about
came
in.
Yeah, from St. Thomas, right?
Yeah. And like I will tell you, people, they tried to use him as the initiator of the offense, and I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched Kendall Blue play 3 games in person for St. Thomas, and at no point did I think he had that.
Yeah.
Initiator of the offense. I'm not even gonna call it point guard, but like the initiator thing.
Yeah, because like Rienk is an initiator of the offense and not a point guard, right? Like,
I'm. It's that multi-ball handler system that Nebraska runs, but he's right now the outside guy looking in. He only got 4 minutes against Maryland Eastern Shore, so like he's kind of towards the end of the bench right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's talented.
Could work his way up.
work his way back into it for sure.
But maybe we'll have to find a different role than originally.
Yeah, like that role is just there's a log jam there, like that wing we talked about.
Part of that's Jamarcus playing better sort of in that types of role, right?
Yeah, Jamarcus Lawrence and Sam Hoiberg have played better, and like their chemistry's amazing because they really know each other and played together.
Yeah.
And Jamarcus, he'll have games where he'll hit shots and then they'll have games where he just needs to kind of run the offense and do what he can to, get 2 assists, 3 assists, 4 assists, and not turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
Like there'll be games where he needs to do that and score 4 or 5 points. Now, I think they'd really like him to be closer to double figures.
Yeah,
scoring.
10, 12 points would be nice. Yeah.
If that's going to be your, 2 guard, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Sam kind of flipping that. But the team is good. They're on a roll. They have, as much as people want to poo-poo this, they have the nation's longest win streak at 7 games.
They do.
If you go back to last year, so
they certainly do.
They certainly have that, and it is a real thing. It's not,
all those games counted. No, those aren't exhibitions. All those games counted.
The roster has changed, obviously, but as a program, they have the nation's longest win streak at 7 games. So it's now. You go to Sioux Falls, which is
I'll say it gets pretty real this weekend
against Oklahoma, a good team that made the tournament last year. It's a quad 1 opponent, like like it will end up being for sure a quad 1 opponent. You got to get it. Like it is a neutral site, but the last 2 years it has been a home game.
Yeah.
Like it has for sure been a home game. I mean, there's only 3,500 people that can fit in there, and it has been primarily, I would say probably 3,000
of the 3,500 is
of the 3,500. It's probably 3,400 Nebraska fans,
and then friends and family
parents,
from the other team,
parent section. So that it gets tougher. Oklahoma's a good team. Won again last night, and they need to handle business there. And then they go to Kansas
Hall of Fame
City.
Classic,
Then you go to Kansas City, and that's New Mexico. You got to win that one, right? And then you play Mississippi State or Kansas State.
Yep.
And Mississippi State gave up 98 points to Iowa State, and Iowa State doesn't score 90. ever.
Mississippi State's not great. Don't really know what Kansas State is yet.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah, not yet.
And don't really know what New Mexico is yet. They will win a lot of changes in the offseason.
Right. Yes. So you're like,
but you're gonna have opportunities there. But those are all gonna be upgrades from the first three
right.
games.
And this is what I guess I've said. Maybe we talked about before, but there's 4 key non-conference games.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There's 4 of them.
So those 3.
So Oklahoma, New Mexico, and then the
The
K-State,
second game in
Mississippi
Kansas
State. Yeah,
City.
whatever that one looks
And
like.
then Creighton, right?
And Creighton.
Yeah.
If you go 2-2,
you're fine.
You need to go 2-2 at a minimum.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance they can go 3-1.
Sure.
2-2 at a minimum.
Yeah.
In that, and then not obviously lose a bye game to anybody.
And honestly, like
I can't imagine, looking at the schedule, the bye games that are left are, well, Winthrop probably a little better than we think. South Carolina, Upstate is that you're winning.
Yeah,
that.
they're not.
And then North Dakota and New Hampshire. That's your bye games left. So really, Winthrop's the one.
You should go undefeated in the bye games.
Yeah, like you should. Winthrop's.
And honestly, New Mexico and either Kansas State or Mississippi State, like those are, while they are upgrades of competition,
they're winnable games.
Very winnable games.
Yeah,
and not that Oklahoma and Creighton aren't.
Yeah.
But like in terms of those 4, asking them to win 2 of those 4, when 2 of them are those games, is a very reasonable ask.
Correct. Yes. So I mean, the positives obviously is their non-steal turnover rate is only 96. Nebraska's right now after 3 games. Last year they were 315th. I think they believe.
So that's
at
better.
The end of the year. So that's been an improvement.
Yeah, got to take care of the ball a little bit better.
Yes. Now they're not going to block shots like they're just on defense and anything like that. But their 2-point percentage is 36 in the country. And their adjusted offensive efficiency is 53rd, and their defense is 45th. Right in squarely in the mix.
That's
right there.
right where you need to be.
Yeah, like you're right there. So
that's squarely in the mix of what we talk about. Be a bubble team.
Be a bubble team. Be a bubble team or above the bubble, like a little bit, right?
Yeah. Like we said, like we said before the season,
league play is totally going to help.
Right. So like we said before the season, they're probably going to sit somewhere between 8 league wins and 12 league wins.
Yes.
If you're at 8, you're probably on the wrong side of the bubble. If you're at 12, you're definitely on the right side of the bubble.
Definitely in. Yeah.
Especially if they tell you what we talk about in the non-con.
If
so
they go 2-2 at a minimum
and win all their bye
4
games.
Non-conference games, win all the bye games.
If they win 12 conference games, they are 100% in.
No question.
Like not even close.
And then
if they win 8, they're probably out.
They're
but still
right
on the bubble.
bubble, right? That we'll see.
Probably on the wrong side
and then
of it.
10, I think anything above 8, I think you're probably for sure. And 9-11, you can get in the Big Ten because it's the Big Ten.
Depending on how good the Big Ten ends up being this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I
anticipate them being
Illinois and Purdue.
I anticipate them being good. Yeah.
All those teams are on the schedule. There are quad 1 games all over the schedule.
Oh yeah.
And Iowa's going to be much better.
Yeah, you'll have a great opportunity. I mean,
and you play them twice.
Yes.
So I saw Iowa Robert Morris. I watched that game and I was like, whoa, bud. Like
gonna look a little different.
They're pretty good.
Gonna look a little different this year.
They're pretty good.
You don't have Fran around to let you get into a
and the USC UCLA thing, you split maybe those,
Yeah, I mean,
you're going on the road there though, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, but like a Ben McCollum Iowa team is a different animal.
Way different.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to see it. Not that I have any love.
Indiana's way better too.
Yeah, I mean D-Rock at Indiana, like that's gonna be a
coaching upgrade. Like
a million times over. And also Tucker DeVries is incredible.
Yeah, he's
like that's gonna be a tough
they
thing
can
to
really
deal with.
shoot it. Yeah.
So that's gonna be super interesting to see. Mike, anything else before we reconvene next week?
No, yeah, I just headed to Sioux Falls for the Oklahoma game. That one is so interesting to me. And last year in Sioux Falls, they should have beat St. Mary's. It was close. They were winning the game, and then St. Mary's went on a little run, and they couldn't fight back to win it. They had a chance. Obviously, Bryce Williams missed the shot at the end, but you got to get that one.
Yeah,
that one's like a key. It is important because Oklahoma's going to be kind of maybe in the same situation as you.
Yeah, in terms of
on the
bubble, not on the bubble. Yeah,
50 to 45 to 65. In that RPI, KenPom, whatever net rating stuff.
They're having wins against those
similar
teams.
You got to beat those.
Yeah,
you got to have those wins.
Because I mean, whether they say it or not, if you're in the same spot and they go head-to-head tiebreaker,
you're gonna
feel better about yourself.
You're gonna feel a lot better. So they need 2 really good days of practice. Coach Hoiberg said our focus needs to be better. He was not happy after Maryland. I'm telling you.
I can't imagine. I mean,
you could tell he was not very happy. He actually had a cuss word in there too. So they only practice 2 days and they go up to Sioux Falls. So they need 2 really good days of practice, Thursday and Friday.
Oklahoma on Saturday, 6 p.m. It's on BTN, or take a little drive up to Sanford Pentagon.
Yeah, if you can get tickets.
If you can get tickets to the good old Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, just head on up there.
Right.
Go hang out with Mike.
Yeah, I'll be there. Me and I guess a lot of people are gonna be there because it's a football bye week. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of media there.
Great opportunity too, and it's an easy trip.
Yeah.
Right. That is Nebraska Shoot Around. Mike, thanks so much for joining me again this week. We'll talk again next Wednesday, and of course on Friday about prep stuff. But we will talk to you again soon.
All right.
That is Nebraska Shoot Around and a little bonus content for our Hurrdat Sports Live fans as well. We will talk to you tomorrow.